My name is EXpers, and today I am tier listing every single Pokemon that has been released. With Gen 10 just around the corner, I thought it would be a great idea to revisit every single generation prior, including Legends games and more, and tier listing everything that I have seen. For background knowledge, I have played every single generation that has come out to date, other than Gen 4 and 5. Other than that, everything is covered by me confidently. So with that said, grab a snack, maybe even a drink, and get ready for the ultimate tier list. The tiers that we are going based off of are my top picks, my second top picks, cool, never using you, utter trash, PC prisoner, and for the generations of those two that I have not played before, I have never experienced personally. So I don't degrade some Pokemon that I've never actually experienced myself. To start things off, we have Dex number 1, Bulbasaur. He's one of the big three, you know? You gotta do some good to his name. He's one of the ones that created what this series is today. Only thing is, the other two have been my top picks in general. So Bulbasaur for me is going to go into second picks. Ivysaur is a middle evolution, and one of them that I don't really care for too often. You'll see that a lot in this video, where middle evolutions of the starters are kind of meh towards me, and I feel a lot of people agree with me there. So Ivysaur is instantly going into cool. I'm not dissing on it, but I'm just saying a lot of the middle starter evolutions are pretty whack. Venusaur, honestly, going up with its first evolution, it's gotta be a second pick. Now, when it comes to Venusaur, Mega Venusaur is a top pick for me. I think it's a really good Pokemon in general, and I really like its design. And from the Galar region, we have Gigantamax Venusaur. I think it's fine. I've never used it. I don't think I ever will. If I did use anything of Venusaur, it would be Mega. So I'm going to put its Gigantamax in never using you. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think I would ever use it. Dex number 4, we have Charmander. It's got to be a top pick. You know, one of the most iconic Pokemon in the entire franchise, and could have been even another mascot, to be real with you. So it's a top pick for me. Its middle evolution, honestly, second pick. I think it's one of the only second evolutions where I can confidently say it's not bad. It makes sense. I like it. Like I said, possible mascot in general for Pokemon itself. Base Charizard, top pick. Mega X, I don't care for it too much, and honestly, its design is too cool not to put it at least in second picks, so I'll gradually put it in second picks. Mega Charizard Y, by far my most used Charizard in any game, and I don't use Charizard that often, but you'll come to realize what my main teams are. Then we have Gigantamax Charizard, one of the most coolest Gigantamaxes in my opinion, and it's gotta be a top pick. Have you seen it shiny? Gorgeous. Next up, we got Dex number 7, Squirtle. It's an iconic character again for me. It's gotta be a top pick. War Turtle, I think it's a solid... Honestly, I'm down to put it in top pick again. You know, I love Squirtle, man. I grew up loving him. Blastoise, another top pick. After that is the Mega Blastoise. I never really cared for his Mega too much, to be honest with you, so it's probably going to go into a second pick for me. I just like the feeling of having just a normal Blastoise. I don't really care for the Mega too much. Its Gigantamax, though, phenomenal. I think it's really cool. I've never personally used it, but the uses it has and the power behind it for defense is fantastic. Also going into second picks. Getting into the first bug Pokemon that you see in this entire series, we have the legendary Caterpie. Obviously, it's trash, but it is iconic, so... you know what? Never using you. I'll put respect on its name, okay? Metapod, on the other hand, straight up trash. You know, it has no use other than being a meme. Butterfree, I think, is one of the most beautiful bug types, and honestly, it mainly comes from its Gigantamax, which we'll get to in a second, but Butterfree by itself, I think it's cool. You know, it's a cool flying type bug. Its Gigantamax, though, it's honestly, it might just be cool too. I don't know, its design is too cool. I gotta put it in second pick. I've never personally used it, but man, is it beautiful. After that, we got Weedle. Straight up trash. I don't like Weedle. Kakuna, honestly, never using you, but it's better than Weedle. Beedrill. You know, honestly, I love Beedrill. I think it was honestly one of my favorite Pokemons when I first got into Pokemon because it just looks cool. So, I mean, I don't really like it on my team too much. So, honestly, it's gotta just be in cool. Now that I think about it, I am moving Butterfree, Gigantamax, Squirtle, well, Blastoise, Gigantamax, and Mega Blastoise down to cool. They just aren't second picks now that I think about it. So, Mega Beedrill, also really cool. So that's where it's gonna go. One of my favorite, just normal bird type Pokemon, Pidgey. Pidgey is honestly a second pick for me. Pidgeotto, I think it's cool, but that's about it. I don't think it's anything crazy. I mean, it still looks good, but any day, I would choose Pidgeot. Pidgeot is another second pick. Mega Pidgeot, I'm going to put it in cool. I've never used it, and I'm pretty sure it's really good. But, you know, I've never used it, so it's just going in cool. Cantonian and Alolan Rattata, they are both going in never using. I don't think I don't think either are bad. I mean, they're pretty iconic. I kind of like them quite a bit, actually, so I'll just put them in never using. I won't say they're trash. They are trash, but never using personally. Raticate is a super powerful early game, and with that, I'm gonna put them both in cool. You know, Super Fang is very useful for early game, especially on like the first gyms and stuff. So something simple like that, it just bumps itself up. Sparrow, I don't think it's trash, but it's definitely never using you. I never cared for Sparrow too much. Pharaoh, though, I don't care for it. I never liked it, so I'm just gonna put it in trash instantly. Ekans is also another pretty iconic one. I think it's one I'll never use. I never really did use him. I never really cared for him too much. He's cool to have, like, around you, but I just don't care enough. Arbok is way cooler. I like its design, so it's going into cool. The mascot, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Pikachu. Honestly, in battle, he's trash, but just for you guys, never using. His stats are bad. He's just fast, and that's about it. And it was good for marketing wise for our mascot because he's bright yellow and cute. I did have it on my team a couple times, especially in X and Y. I don't care for Pikachu. I really don't. I will say Gigantamax Pikachu is very funny. So honestly, I'm gonna put it in cool. I think it's hilarious just to see a big fat yellow rat. Raichu is far more superior to me than Pikachu is, so I'm definitely putting him in second pick. I just like Raichu more than Pikachu, and it's a Alolan form, guaranteed top pick. You know, one of my favorite Pokemon games is Ultra Sun and Moon, and I really liked how it has its own form. Mega Raichu X and Y, I've never personally experienced. So with that being said, I'm putting it in that tier. Sandshrew, I think it's a respectable Pokemon. I probably won't use it unless it's the Alolan form, because I think it's a pretty solid ice type. So, the Alolan, I'll put it in cool. The Cantonian, never using. I never cared for the ground one too much. I think it's good. Sandslash, I'll put both at least in cool. And the Alolan one, probably in cool too. I don't think I'd really ever use them, but I think they're cool. Next up, we got Nidoran. It's cool, I guess. I never really cared for the king and queen, to be honest. Nidoran by itself, I don't think it's bad. And it's recognizable. So I'll just put it in never using you. I never cared for the middle evolutions or really the starters. I think the first evolution is recognizable. I don't know, I haven't really cared for them too much. The queen, I think it's cool. So that's probably where I'm gonna put it. And the king honestly deserves a place in my second picks. I've never used Nidoking, but it looks like a Pokemon I would use. Clefairy, I think it's really cute, so I'm gonna put it in cool. And Clefable, I'm gonna put it with its other evolution. The Mega I've never experienced. I mean, in ZA I did a little bit for that one battle, but that was it. So we're just gonna put it in never experienced. Cantonian Vulpix, I think this Pokemon is honestly a second pick for me. It's nothing crazy, but I do really like this Pokemon. The Alolan form, even better. It's good in VCG for doubles. And I really like the design. Cantonian Ninetales, second pick. And the Alolan form, is a top pick. I currently have a shiny that I got yesterday. Next up is Jigglypuff. I mean, dude's in literal Super Smash Bros, you know? That's how you know he's a good Pokemon. I've never used him myself, but he's definitely in the cool section. Wigglytuff, I don't really care for it too much. It's just a bigger, older, fatter variant of it. So I'm gonna put it in never using. I think it's still cute and stuff, but I don't know. Jigglypuff just hits different. Zubat, one of my biggest enemies in the older games. Blue was just detrimental with this guy, man. You walk in 5 steps into a cave and you're in a battle with this dude. Oh, you get done with that battle? Cool. Take like 3 more steps and you're in another battle with this dude. PC prisoner. I don't like Zubat. I will genuinely catch this dude for fun to have a whole box of his species trapped. Golbat, on the other hand, I think it's chill. I'll never using it, so that's where I'm gonna put it. But it's chill. Next up is one of my favorite cute grass types early game, Oddish. He's just adorable. I'll never use him really, but he's cool. I really like it. Its evolution Gloom though, I think it's unique. It gets some good moves. I'm gonna also put it in cool. Vileplume, honestly, a second pick. I mean, it's nothing like crazy and phenomenal, but I do really enjoy Vileplume's presence in my team. The Mushroom Crab, Perez, never using you. I mean, it stands out to me, but I don't really care for it too much. Parasect is honestly way cooler than its first evolution, so I'm gonna put it in cool. Venonat, I think it's again, it's another one that stands out. So, but I don't see myself using it, so I'm gonna put it in never using you. Same with Venomoth. I don't really care for it all that much, to be honest. And now we got a pretty good one. We got Diglett. He's just iconic, you know? Definitely a second pick for me. He was on my team for Pokemon Blue, and I liked his presence, and he low-key carried for some battles. The Alolan form, I don't really have much experience with, but I'm gonna put it in never using you. I don't really care for it all that much. Dugtrio, I love him a lot more. Probably another second pick. The Alolan variant, I like the hair, but I'm just gonna put it in cool. One of the anime's big bads, we got Meowth up next. Till Galar, I really didn't care for Meowth, but the first million I made with this guy, I don't know, he's okay in my books. I'll put him in cool. The Alolan one, I don't really care for all that much. Some people actually value this one a lot more than the base one, but I don't really care for it, so I don't think it's bad, but I'm gonna put it in never using you. And then we got the Galarian Meowth. This one is a lot better, and honestly, I think it deserves like a solid second pick for me. It's just a really good like variant, like form. I really like this one. Gigantamax, it's definitely a top pick. Like I said, I made millions upon millions of dollars in Galar from this dude alone. Persian, I never really cared for Persian, so for both of them, honestly, I don't know. Giovanni's Persian is pretty iconic, so I'm gonna put the Cantonian one in cool, and the Alolan one, I really don't like how fat its face is. So for me, I'm gonna put it in trash. Next up, we got the Goofy Boy Psyduck. He's not a top, he's not a second, but I'm gonna put him in cool. Golduck, I don't care for. I'm never using you. I don't care for Golduck. Mankey, I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon. Honestly, fighting type, just plain out, it's solid. So I'm gonna put it in cool. Its evolution Primeape though, mad respect on this dude's name. It's gotta go into second pick for me. Growlithe, it's a lot of people's top picks, and it's never been big on me, but Growlithe is definitely cool. Honestly, I don't really care for the Hisuian one. I know some people, like, this is their favorite Pokemon, so no shade, but I personally would not use it at all, really, the Hisuian version. But Arcanine himself, honestly, it's a second pick. I'm not a huge Intimidate user or anything as such, but Arcanine is really cool, and I feel like he should have been a pseudo-legendary. The Hisuian one even looks cooler than the first one. I've never used it myself, but I mean, it looks cool, and I'm sure it's almost the same thing, so second pick for the Hisuian one as well. Next up, we got Poliwag. I think it's cute, so I'm gonna put it in cool. I've personally used it a little bit, but I don't know, it's alright. Poliwhirl is where I stand on this dude's evolution line. Poliwhirl is pretty solid. I think it's going to go cool again because its evolution, Poliwrath is going straight into second pick. I've never had him on any of my teams yet, but I really want to shiny hunt one and put one on my team eventually. Next up is, I think, an underrated Pokemon, Abra. I really like this Pokemon, you know? He's not a second pick at all, because he's basically useless, but he looks cool, and I like his personality as he runs away from any conflict or even any human contact. I really like Abra. His next evolution, Kadabra, I mean, it stands out. It's iconic, especially for Pokemon. Out of his entire line, I think I can confidently put it in second picks. I've never personally had... I think I actually did have one on my team before, but I don't know. I didn't really use it much. I had Garchomp. And the big bad man himself, Alakazam, is by far a top pick for me. Mega Alakazam, though, I don't think I've ever used or experienced anything, so I'm just gonna put him in never experienced. Next up, we got one of the most iconic fighting types in this entire franchise, Machop. Never been too big on it, but it's definitely a second pick. I love me some Machop. Machoke, I don't know, it's kind of like that middle ground. Like I said before with the middle evolutions, a lot of them are meh to me. So I'm going to put it in cool, and obviously Machamp, it's got to be a top pick. I've never had one on my team. I actually had a Machoke, and I prefer it to be a Machoke because mine is a female, and I don't feel like I want to evolve it. Kind of like another situation, which we'll get to eventually here. But Gigantamax version, it looks so cool. I never will use it. I never have used it, but it's really cool, so that's where I'm going to put it. Bellsprout, it's a pretty solid Pokemon. I don't really care for it too much. I like its design, so I'll put it in cool. It's evolution though. Yeah, Weeping Bell, I don't really care for, man. So it's gonna be a never using you. Victory Bell though, I actually love the design of this Pokemon, and I think it's solid to put it in cool. I think it's usable. It's Mega. I have experienced it from ZA. I think it's goofy. It's one of my favorite Megas, actually. So I'm going to put it in cool. It's definitely not any top picks or anything for me. And I think I would use it if I really wanted to. But I don't know. He's just goofy. Next up, we got Tentacool. Me and this dude spent a lot of time together as I shiny hunted him. And I think he's cool. His evolutions, though, Tentacruel. Oh, man. These shinies are so good. Tentacruel, he's so close to second pick. But I have too many Pokemon I could replace him with. I don't know, I just don't really care for Tentacruel that much. Next up, we got the Geodude line. Geodude, he's pretty, he stands out. The Alolan variant, I actually like it less. I mean, the electric typing is so good, but honestly, I don't really use it that much. And honestly, the Geodude variant, nah, I'm gonna pass on it. Cantonian Graveler, it's a big boy. Gonna put it in cool. The Alolan variant, I actually do mess with this quite a bit. So this is the first Alolan variant of Geodude, and his line being in cool, and I think that's it. Golem's decent, but it's just one of the Pokemon I never would use. Same with the Alolan. I'd rather just stick with like Geodude or Graveler, like realistically. Then we got Ponyta. I think it's one of the cool, iconic horses in the entire franchise. So it's gotta be a solid cool. It's definitely not a second pick, but I do admire Ponyta. The Galarian form, I think I only caught it for the Dex, and that was about it. So I'm gonna put it in never using you, but its design is too cool to not put it in cool. Cantonian Rapidash, it's shiny and everything is pretty cool, and I really like it. And from Arceus, it has been on one of my main teams. Never used it, but it was there. Galarian, never used it. It's a unicorn. It's cool. Period. Then we got the iconic Slowpoke. We love Slowpoke. That man, this thing's been through a lot. Alright. I don't know if you played Johto, but just search up what happened to Slowpoke and Johto if you haven't. Tragic story, man. I'm gonna put it in cool. Galarian, I like it a little less. I mean, the yellow's a nice addition, and its shiny is a lot better, but I'm just gonna put it in never using you. Now, when it comes to the Slowbros, I really like the Cantonian one a lot more. I think out of any line member, I think it's just cool. I've never used it. I never really wanted to use it too much. The Galarian Slowbros, I don't really care. I'm just gonna slap them both and never use, Next up, we got the OG Magnet Magnemite. I really like this dude. This is a second pick for me. Magneton, another second pick for me. I don't know. It's one of my favorite electric types. Farfetch'd and TCG Pocket. This was my main man. 40 damage for a colorless energy. That's tough. Second pick. Surfetch'd, I mean, it's alright, I guess. Next up, we got Dodual. Cool, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of just mid to me. Dodrio, though, I mean, I want to put him higher, but he's not higher. he's going into cool. Seal, I think it's cute. I'll put it in cool. Dugong, it's the same deal, except this is gonna be a never using you. I don't think it's anything crazy. I prefer the first evolution more. I like its design more. Grimer, I think it's a standout Pokemon. Probably a never using you, to be honest. It's Galarian, not Galarian. It's a lowland form. It's kind of the same cake. Muck. Cantonian's kind of mid, so I'll put it in never using you. And its color scheme and stuff for the Alolan form gets it into cool. It just looks cool. Then we got Shelder. He's cool, I guess. I make way too many jokes about Cloyster to downgrade him too much, so I'll also put him in cool. Next up, we got one of my favorite lineups, Ghastly. Ghastly, probably a second pick for me. Hunter, by far a top pick for me. Hunter to me is one of those Pokemon that I don't think you should evolve. And that's how people feel about Pikachu. Hunter is by far a top pick for me. I like its design. Everyone agrees that Hunter's design looks good. Then there's Gengar, the big man himself. I know this is some of your guys' favorites, but for me, he's got to be a second pick. I think he's good. Again, I personally choose Hunter any day in his line. Mega Gengar, though, with that shiny, it's got to be a top pick. I mean, come on, White Mega, that's tough. Gigantamax 1, the shinies are alright, I guess. It's going to be a second pick. I've never personally used it, but it is pretty cool. Next up, the underrated boy, Onix. I think he's cool. I'm still gonna underrate him. It's not like he's insane. It's his next evolution that's actually crazy, but he's not here yet. Drowsy is just one of those weird Pokemon. He's one of those Pokemon never using you. Hypno, on the other hand, I love this dude's involvement in Ultra Sun and Moon, and honestly, I think it's a cool Pokemon. I really like Hypno, and he's really good for catching Pokemon. So after that, we got Krabby. I don't really care for it. It's just a crab, gang. That's it. Never using you. Kingler, though, it's just a crab. Never using you. Gigantamax form. Never using you. Kanto Voltorb. I don't know, he's alright. Never using him. Hisuian Voltorb. That's a cool. Cantonian Electrode. Honestly, I like him a little bit more. I'm down to put him in cool. Hisuian Voltorb. I don't really care for this one. I don't know. Never using him. My favorite egg group. Executor. We love this guy. Cool. Okay, now we're on Executor. Second pick. I really like this little bush. Alolan Executor. Pretty good typing. Second pick. Cubone, one of the most saddest Pokemon in the entire franchise. It's gotta be a second pick. It's too good. I like it, and its lore is too good to pass up. Marowak, though? Marowak? Top pick, bro. Never mind. There's one that beats it. It's going into second pick. You know why? Because the Alolan variant of Marowak, it's too good to pass up. Look at that. Look at that design. Smexy. Next up, we got Hitmonlee. Never using you. I don't know. I don't really care for it. Hitmonchan, though. Hitmonchan, that's my guy. Cool Pokemon. Lickitung, the most freaky looking Pokemon. Gotta be never used. I'm never using you. I'm never even, touching you, dude. Iconic Boy Coughing from Team Rocket. We like this guy. He's cool. Wheezing's even better, but it's still going in the cool racket. Its Galarian form? It's alright. Cool. Next up, we got Rhyhorn. His shiny's mid as hell. Never using you. I will never use you. Then we got the first ever created Pokemon in all of history ever, Rhydon. He's pretty cool also. The egg healing Pokemon, the Chansey. We got the fat one. I think it's cute. It's gotta be cool. Tangela, I actually really like this Pokemon. It's not in my team picks at all, but it's cool. Genghis Kong, honestly, I hear so much good stuff about this dude. I've never even used him before. but I've battled him, and it's pretty solid second pick. Mega, I hear, is even better, especially for some double play top pick. One of my favorite Pokemon growing up is Horsey. Horsey is pretty cool. Seadra is even cooler, but they're gonna be right next to each other because they're both cool. Goldeen, don't care about this thing. Honestly, it's trash. I don't like Goldeen. Nor do I Seeking. PC Prisoner. Seeking looks terrifying. You look like some horny clownfish. I don't really know how to describe it. Star, you mad respect on this starfish's name. It's cool. Starmie, it's got some good stuff on its name, man. It's got to go into a second pick, man. Starmie's pretty crazy. Mega Starmie, absolute joke. It is the funniest mega we have and the weirdest and stupidest idea Grain Feet has even thought of. Next up, we got the first psychic fairy type. I think that got introduced in the game. I'm pretty sure it was psychic early on. I don't remember. It's been a while. But Mr. Mime, it's a cool Pokemon. I like this Pokemon. The Galarian form, I like it even more, but it's still only going in cool because I don't think I'd ever use it. Next up, we got Scyther. He's pretty iconic. He's pretty cool. Honestly, I'm gonna have to put him in cool because his evolution, Sizer, which isn't here yet, is spoiler alert, a second pick. Ice Psychic type Jinx. I'm pretty sure it was also just another Psychic type early on. So Jinx, honestly, it's kind of tough. I'm gonna put it in second pick. I've never used it, but I madly respect Jinx. Hideous Pokemon, by the way. Electabuzz, it's alright, I guess. Cool Pokemon. Magmar stands out, but still only a cool Pokemon. I have others that I would choose over it. One of the most annoying bugs in the entire franchise to me is Pinsir. It's alright. I think it's really good offensively, actually. I'm okay. It's going in second tier for second picks, but it would be a last option. Its Mega variant, I have zero experience with. Cantonian Tauros. It's got some respect on its name, bro. Honestly, it's a second pick. Tauros is that main man. He's scary. He is terrifying in some of those games, man. All the Galarian forms I have no experience with other than catching them for Dex, so I'm just going to put them there. Next up, the only Pokemon that's been in every single Pokemon game. Did you know that? That's true. That's true fact. Search it up. Magikarp's been in every single Pokemon game ever released. Mainline that I know of, anyway. I'm not sure if it's every, but he's been in every mainline. Magikarp, second pick, bro. You gotta get that Gyarados. You know why I gotta get that Gyarados? Because Gyarados is a top pick for me. The red Gyarados, baby. If you know, you know. Johto, second gen. Come on, man. Free shiny. The first ever shiny you're just given. Come on, bro. It's still a main to me till this day. It's Mega variant. It's a second pick. For certain VGC type stuff, I'll use the Mega, but that's it. Next up, I think this Pokemon is a little underrated. Lapras. I also underrated, but its moveset is pretty diabolical, so I think it's safe to put it in second picks. Gigantamax. I have zero encounters with this, so no experience. Ditto, one of the OGs. He's got to be a second pick. We love Ditto, and he's got so many uses. And he's actually one of my, like, maybe top 20 favorite Pokemon. Next up, we got the big bad mascot, second mascot, Eevee. I don't care for Eevee herself, but she's pretty iconic, so I'll put her in second pick because all the evolutions are pretty cool. I can't get myself to use any of the evolutions, but I do enjoy a lot of them. Gigantamax Eevee, I have no experience with. Vaporeon, it's a cool Pokemon. I don't think it's phenomenal, but it is a good Pokemon. Jolteon, I would choose any day over Vaporeon. Honestly, I'm down to put it in second picks. I think its health is a little low, but it is pretty quick. So it's useful, but second pick. Flareon, I never used myself. I think it's a cool Pokemon. I wish design could have been slightly better. I get that it's a fire type and that's the whole gimmick, but I'm not too obsessed over it. Next up, one of the most annoying Pokemon to get in every single Pokedex, Porygon. Porygon's pretty annoying, especially in games that are short on trainers or you have to spend something that's kind of annoying to grind out to to evolve him. I like his design and his purpose though. He's a cool Pokemon. Next up we got Omanite. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. It's okay, but I'm never using it. Same with its evolution. I think its evolution is quite a bit better actually, but I will never be using it. Off to the fossils. We have Kabuto. I really like this dude. Cool Pokemon. Kabutops, a lot of respect for it. Second pick. Aerodactyl, by far one of my top picks. But honestly, it's probably a high second pick. That's it. It's a Mega variant. I don't think I've personally used it myself, but I know it's pretty good. I'll confidently put it in C though. I don't think it's a second pick, but I do know it's got some respect. Snorlax, I don't think it's too crazy, but it's honestly a second pick for me. Honestly, for a lot of you, it's probably your first pick, which is completely understandable, but I do everything in my power to counter this guy. I don't use him because he's used, so I find ways to counter him. It's Gigantamax. Other than battling it, I have no experience, but honestly, it's probably a second pick. Beefy boy. Ooh, the legendary birds. Okay, we were getting towards the end of Kanto here. We got Articuno. Out of the main birds, I think it's my favorite. I'm down to put Kanto Articuno in my top picks. I madly respect him. Galarian, I think it's cool. That's it. Cantonian Zapdos. Honestly, solid second pick. He's pretty intimidating. Put a storm behind him and he looks cool. Galarian, I think, is a lot more treasured, mainly because of my time playing Pokemon Go, but he is just that. He's just cool. He just looks cool. Cantonian Moltres. I don't think it's anything crazy, so I'm just going to put it in cool, while his Galarian form is by far up there with the top picks. He looks the best out of any of the birds, and honestly, the most intimidating. Then we got our, I think, first pseudo-legendary, which is Dratini. And Dratini, really good placement. Second pick for that. Its second evolution, though, it's alright, I guess. It's cool. I like Dragonair. I think it's pretty. I like the marble at the end of its tail. And then the big man himself, obviously Dragonite. For me, personally, he's in between top picks and second picks, but he's just too good not to put in top picks, so that's where he's going. The Mega Dragonite, I think when it first came out, it was so mid, but it's still pretty good. I really like it. Second pick. Next up, we got Dex number 150 Mewtwo. One of those legendaries. He's got to be a top pick. It's just Mewtwo by himself, man. Honestly, for me, I'd put him second pick because his Y variant is by far a top pick for me. X, on the other hand, I don't know, it's cool, sure. And for Kanto, we have Dex 151, which means we are officially done with Kanto. And Mew, it's gotta be a top pick. He's just one of the greats, man. Moving on to Gen 2, we have Chikorita, one of the first grass-type starters in the entire game, and honestly, I've never been a huge fan of it. It's cute, so I'm gonna put it in cool. Bayleaf, I actually like a lot more than Chikorita by itself, so honestly, I think it's a safe pick, you know? Very bottom of the barrel for second picks, but Bayleaf I can confidently put in second picks. And its final evolution, Meganium, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, obviously it's also another second pick. Its Mega is even better. If it came down to a grass type, because as you can see, other than Venusaur, I have nothing else that is grass type in my entire top pick. So the Mega variant of, you know, this Pokemon is definitely a bottom of the barrel top pick. My starter, and I still to this day believe is one of the best starters, we have Cyndaquil. Now, I'm not the craziest fan of Cyndaquil when it comes down to the starters, but he's definitely a second pick. Qualiva, if that's how you pronounce it, I don't really care for it too much. I think it's cool, but I don't think it's anything like revolutionary to me. And then obviously Typhlosion, it's a solid top pick. Hisuian one, I don't like this one that much. I don't really know why, so I'm just gonna put it in cool. It could be design. I don't know. It's just, I don't really care for it that much. Next up, we got Totodile. I actually really like this dude. He's my ZA partner and everything. And honestly, second pick for me. Croconaw, it's alright. Once again, it's one of those middle evolutions where it's just something I don't really care for. And then obviously his final evolution is a top pick. It's Mega. Honestly, I think it's pretty solid. And his move set is pretty varied. But for me personally to like his Mega, if it had the hood down and it kept the dragon, mask, it would have been top pick. But unfortunately, it's got to go into a second. Sentret, I don't really care for all that much, so honestly, never using you. I think there's a leak for Gen 10 that came out for another form of him, and it looks like a moon variant or something, which actually looks like a Pokemon I think I'd try out. But its base form, I don't know. I'll never use it. Furret, I think it's pretty good in Pokemon Go, if I remember correctly, so I'll put it in cool. Hoot Hoot is one of my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, so honestly, it's not a good Pokemon, but I will put it in cool. I do enjoy Hoot Hoot's presence. Noctowl is actually a lot more intimidating, and honestly, I think it's a safe to say second pick. Ladybug, I think it's okay, I'll put it in cool. Ledion is a lot more interesting. It's still only cool section because I don't think it's second pick at all. Not even close. But Spinarak, by far never using you. I've caught this thing so many times, but I genuinely just don't care for this Pokemon. Gyarados, cool Pokemon overall. I love its design. I love its terrible, most metal animal type Pokedex. And I think it deserves not second pick, but cool. Next up, we have Zubat's next evolution, and honestly, it's a solid second pick. Crobat is one of my favorite Pokemon when it comes to, the Zubat line, and I madly respect it. Next up, we got Chinchou. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm just gonna never use it. I don't really care for it. Lantern, though, by far a cool Pokemon. I really like that Pokemon. First added baby Pokemon is Pichu, and it's adorable. I'll put it in cool. It's definitely not a second pick, but yeah, nah, it's cool. For Clefable, we got Cleffa. It's baby form, also in cool. Igglybuff, it's cool. And Togepi, honestly, this is the only baby Pokemon in Gen 2 that I actually enjoyed. It's definitely a second pick for me. Togetic, obviously this whole line, other than Togekiss, which got, its big buff when it came to this line. Togetic, I don't really care for it. I'll put it in cool. Its stats and everything is just utter garbage. And it's just factual till they actually decided to add Togekiss. Nadu is a really funny looking Pokemon. I'll put it in cool. It's definitely not a second pick, but I do actually appreciate its presence. And obviously, Xatu actually has to go in second pick. Psychic Flying type. It's one of the only ones I would actually choose. Mareep is a pretty standout Pokemon for me, so I'm going to put it in cool. Its next evolution, Flaffy? I don't know. I like it's shiny, and I like the little marble at the end of its tail for this evolution. It looks kind of like a George Washington. Yeah, I don't know. I'd use it, so. And Ampharos, honestly, it's a solid second pick. I think it was one of the main electric types for a lot of players out there, and it deserves some respect. Real talk. But the biggest thing for me, for top pick, is its Mega. I actually do love its Mega. I think it's still as fragile, but the power behind it is very, very inclined. Blossom, I think it's a cute Pokemon, so I'll put it in cool. Marill, it's also another cute Pokemon, and it's not a second pick, but it's pretty cool. Its second evolution is definitely a top pick. For VCG, it has Belly Drum, and it's got its own capability of standing up in battle. I think it's slightly like fragile, but upping its HP, EVs, and stuff like that helps it a lot. And it was one of my favorite Galar Pokemon when it came to grabbing Pokemon I've never used before. Sudowoodo is by far one of my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon. It is going in top picks, and you'd be scared of this Pokemon because I've literally beaten my friend Snorlax against Sudowoodo of all, and I don't know, Sudowoodo is a god in my eyes. Politoed, I don't have much experience other than Dex, so I'm putting it in never experienced. Its shiny is cool though. Hoppip, it's just one of those starter Pokemon at the beginning of the game. Never using you. I don't really care for it all that much. Same with Skiploom. And I'm pretty sure it's Jumpluff, which is a pretty good support in BCG, so I'll put it in cool. Aiapom, I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon. It's pretty solid. It's its evolution that, you know, comes later of Ambipom. And that guy is definitely a second pick, I feel. But next up, before that, we have Sunkern. I never, other than Dex, I've never used this dude, so we're gonna move on from him. Sunflora has such a significance that I didn't even know it existed till the grass-type gym in Galar. And, not Galar, but Paldea. Scarlet and Violet was the first time I actually seen and recognized this Pokemon for being a Pokemon. I didn't even know this dude existed. Yanma is pretty cool. I think it was actually my first... No, I think it was my second ever shiny in Ultra Sun and Moon. So, honestly, for me, it's pretty cool Pokemon. Next up, we got base form Wooper. Iconic pick. It's got it's honestly top pick for the memes. You can't pass it up. Paldean, I know some of you prefer this one over the original form, but for me, it's probably a second pick. I do like its typing and stuff like that, and its evolution line is phenomenal when it comes to it, but Quagsire, though, a lot better. Honestly, for me, it's probably going to a second pick. Realistically, it's nothing too crazy, but for the memes, its base form, base Wooper has a whole song, so it deserves top pick. Now, the two new added evolutions for Johto is Espeon and Umbreon. Espeon, honestly, it's one of my favorite designs. I'll put it in second picks. With Umbreon, obviously, I think it's overrated, to be real with you, but for me, it's still a top pick. I love its shiny, and that's the only Umbreon that I use, is a shiny that I got, like a perfect Eevee shiny that I got from an Eevee event in Pokemon Go, and now I use it in main games. Then we got Murkrow. I think it has one of the best shinies, but it's nothing too crazy for me, so I'm just going to put it in cool. And introduced in Gen 2, we have Slowking. I think Slowking is pretty solid. It'll be a second pick for me. While its Galarian form, I don't really know how to feel about it, so I'm just going to put it in cool. Mischievous, it's cool. I like it. It's its evolution that is definitely a second pick for me. But after that, we have Unknown. It's cool. I mean, I'd never use it, to be real. So I think that's where I'm going to put it. Not trash, am I? Never using Unknown. It's just for collection purposes. That's it. And then we have Wobbuffet. Honestly, one of the anime's most iconic characters. I think it's cool. I think it's pretty solid. Then we got Girafarig, if that's how you pronounce it. It's a pretty solid Pokemon, so I'll put it in cool. Then Pineco, absolutely trash. I think this Pokemon is absolutely useless to me, and I don't really care for it. Fortress, pretty beefy Pokemon. It's a solid pick. I'll put it in cool. Dunsparce, never using you. I genuinely can't. I know he's got some pretty good usage, but I genuinely cannot use Dunsparce. I just don't care about him really at all. Then we have Gligar. I think Gligar is pretty respectable. I think it'd be a second pick for me. I've never personally used him, but it's a pretty solid Pokemon. Then we got the big bad man himself. We got Steelix. For the first time, the best evolution line that you can have for Onix. It's got to be second pick for Steelix himself, his moves, and his stats are pretty solid. And Mega, it's also a second pick. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think it's anything revolutionary, but it is a cool Mega. Snubbull, I don't really know. I think it's a cool Pokemon, I guess. It's his Evolution Grand Bull, which is one of my actual top picks for physical attacking fairy. And for X and Y, he was my main. I mean it, like this dude mutilated the champion. Quillfish, I don't really care for this Pokemon all that much. I've caught it. But honestly, it's gotta be a PC prisoner. When it comes to its Hisuian form, this dude is an absolute menace. And I'm putting it in PC prisoner because it's that annoying. I really hated this guy. Anytime I had an encounter with it, it was just madly aggressive. And it was just a pain to deal with. Next up, we got the much needed evolution for Scyther, Scizor, whatever you want to say. Honestly, solid second pick, mainly because its Mega is a top pick. I've never seen it personally when it comes to me using it, but beyond that, I know it's a really good Pokemon. Then we got Shuckle. I heard this dude's defense is absolutely terrifying when it comes to Pokemon Go. I know the combat in that game is pretty doggy doo-doo, but Shuckle is a pretty cool Pokemon, and I have used him. Heracross by himself, obviously boys from ZA is a top carry. It's got to be a second pick. I have it shiny. I specifically shiny hunted it just for my enjoyment of Heracross, and I'm only putting it second pick because its Mega is obviously a top pick. That dude is unbeatable when it comes to non-pseudo or legendary Pokemon for physical attack. Next up, we got Sneasel. I think it's a pretty solid, cool, dark ice type. So I think it's cool. Its Hisuian form, personally, I like it better, so I'd probably put it in second pick. Teddiursa, if that's how you pronounce it. I think it's a cool Pokemon. It's not like useless or anything. It's Ursaring. Yeah, that's actually pretty solid. I'll put that in second pick. It's nothing revolutionary, but nah, I'm gonna put it in cool. I don't think it's that good, but it is still a good Pokemon. Next up, we got Slugma. Honestly, I can't see myself using this. I genuinely can't. I collect them. His evolution, Magcargo, it's a lot more usable, and its shining is pretty cool, so I'll put it in cool. Swinub, absolutely useless. I think it's pretty trash. But Piloswine is a pretty useful ice type, so I will put that in cool. Corsola, I'm pretty sure. Corsala, I don't really know. I'll never use it personally. I think it's a cool looking Pokemon and I like its purpose, but nah. Now the Galarian one looks a little better, so I'll put it in cool. Remoraid, PC prisoner. I have no use for this dude. I catch him, he just sits in the box the entire time. I have no reason to even know that this Pokemon exists. It's just a fish. Octillery, I actually forget that this dude exists, but so with that alone, I'm just gonna never use it. Delibird is one of my favorite like bird Pokemon looking things, so I'm gonna put it in cool. And I really like Present. Present is a really fun battling mechanic. Mantine, I'm a huge Alola fan, so I'm gonna put it in cool. Then next we have Skarmory. Skarmory is honestly a second pick, and yeah, Skarmory is pretty solid. I think its shiny looks pretty good as well. And its Mega, I have not personally experienced it other than battling it, and it was actually really easy. So, yeah, I'm just going to put it as never experienced. Next up, we got Houndour. I like how its shiny goes blue and stuff. And Houndour, it's a cool Pokemon. But with that being said, Houndoom is a second pick for me. I think its stats are kind of mid as hell actually, but I do like Houndoom. Honestly, for a Mega Evolution, I think it's pretty useless. I'd rather just stick to the base one. I used it in ZA, and I didn't really see any difference when I did Mega Evolve it, other than maybe a slight damage boost. So honestly, it's gotta be, with my personal experience, this is probably a terrible ranking, okay. But from my personal experience and how much I used it, I think this Mega is absolutely garbage. So I'm going to put it in trash for right now. But I don't know, man. From my experience, it's utter garbage. Kingdra, obviously my favorite out of this line. It's probably a second pick. I've never personally used it, but I mean, if this came up of like an option of 3 and 2 others were there, like Slowking or Steelix, I think I'd use like Kingdra. I think it looks cool. Vampy, honestly, it's one of those Pokemon I'd never use, but its evolution, Donphin, it's pretty solid, man. It's pretty solid. I'll put it in cool. Porygon 2 was added for Johto, and with that, I think it's a cool Pokemon. It's nothing crazy. I would by far use Z, but I don't know. Porygon 2 is pretty solid. Stantler, never using you. I genuinely don't really care for Stantler. Smeargle, it has some really good entry for Pokopia, being like an artist and stuff. And its versatility is pretty good, so honestly, Smeargle is a solid second pick. And I know of a lot of people that actually like Smeargle. Tyrogue, never using you, unless it's for its evolutions. I really don't care for Tyrogue. Hitmontop is one of the ones that I'll actually use. I think it's cool. It's definitely not one of my top picks, but, you know, it's there. Smoochum, I really don't like this Pokemon. Its design is weird. It's like some weird sticky child. I'm good. PC Prisoner, solid. Elekid, adding on to the babies and stuff. I think it's a cool Pokemon, but nothing beyond that point. Magby, honestly, I really like this Pokemon. It's gotta go in a cool. Next up is Miltank. It's alright. Honestly, I'm going to put it in second pick because the one gym in this Johto game is actually insane with rollout if you have the right stats. Next up is Blissey. I think it's alright. I'll put it in cool. And getting to the legendary slash pseudos, we have Raikou. Raikou is the electric beast, and honestly, it's a solid second pick. I think I'd be so down to use him. Entei, he's kind of like a different story. Honestly, another second pick. Entei's pretty solid. And after that is Suicune. This is my top pick because it is my favorite out of the beasts. Then we have Larvitar, which is funny because its entry is after the legendaries in Johto. So I'm kind of confused about that. But Larvitar is a pretty solid pick. Honestly, I could do second pick. Its second evolution though, I don't think Pupitar is really that useful at all. So honestly, I don't like using him at all. I just get him XP through other Pokemon battling. And Tyranitar, oh my god. Oh, it's a top pick, man. Competitively and all, he's just a really good weather setter, and he's tanky boy if you make him to be. The Mega, I haven't used too much, but honestly, when it comes to anything Mega, I don't use this Mega that often, so I'm gonna put it in second pick, but it is a good Mega. And coming to the end of Gen 2, we have Lugia. It's a tough second pick. Honestly, when it comes to those two, I think Lugia would be a top pick, while Ho-Oh, the next one, would be a second pick. Celebi is a mythical. I can't think of any time I would use Celebi. Like, I think it's a top pick Pokemon, but for me personally, it's honestly got to be a never use you. I don't really like using mythicals. They're more of like a collection type deal. Realistically, like I said, Celebi would probably be a top pick for the most special and cool Pokemon. But it's got to go into never using you because, I mean, there's no hate for it. There's so much respect, but I genuinely would not use Celebi. On to Gen 3, we have Trico. I honestly love Trico so much. He's going into a top pick, and he's one of my favorite starters. Grovyle, I'm pretty sure that's if that's how you pronounce it. Grovyle is a cool looking Pokemon, so that's all I'm gonna give it. And Sceptile, terrifying, man, absolutely terrifying. It's a solid like top pick for me, and that also includes its Dragon Mega variant. Torchic by itself, I don't think it's bad, so I'll put it in cool. It's middle evolution. If I could choose, I would never use it. I think it looks funky. I don't think I would use it. Blaziken though, it's got to be a top pick. This thing is a menace, and it's mega. Honestly, to be real with you, I've never experienced. Next up is Mudkip. This is another instance where it is a top pick starter for me. Its middle evolution is absolutely horrifying. If I could choose to, I would PC prisoner. This thing looks terrifying, and I've seen some animations made by fans of what it looks like when this thing evolves, and I'm weirded out. I'm good. I don't like its eyes. Swampert, on the other hand, absolute menace when it comes to its stats and moves, so it's got to be a top pick. Mega, though, I have not experienced, so I'm going to put it there. Moving off of starters, we have Puccini. You know what? I don't care. It's a cool Pokemon. I like this Pokemon. Mightyena, though, honestly, if I had to choose one of the basic Pokemon that's early game, I would choose this one. So I will put it in second pick. Zigzagoon, I don't know. Never using you. I mean, I have a shiny of it. I'll never use it. Now, it's Galarian form. I think I'll put it in cool. I mean, it looks cool, so I'm okay with putting it there. Lanoon base form, once again, it's just a never use. While its Galarian form, honestly, is also not ever being used also. I don't know, I don't really care for it that much. Then we have Wurmple. We love Wurmple. He's pretty chill bug type. He was one of my favorite bug types to deal with when it came to Arceus and stuff, so I'm gonna put him in cool. Silcoon, never using you. I mean, I have no reason to. It's Butterfly, next evolution. Beautifly, I think it's cool. I don't think I've seen it shiny before, which sounds interesting. Cascoon, once again, never using you. It's just one of those Pokemon I don't think I'd ever touch or even have near my team, but it's just a collections Pokemon, really. Dustox, I've used it a little bit. Once again, if I could choose, I would choose not to use it. I really don't care about it too much. Latad, once again, another not using you. Lombre, though, I actually do think is pretty cool. Ludicolo, I think it has some pretty good usage, and out of that lineup, once again, early game, if I had to choose like 3 of early games, I think Ludicolo would be a Pokemon that I'd be willing to actually use. Next up is Seedot. I think this game, this Pokemon is basically useless to me. I love its design, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I'd use Seedot. Nuzleaf, on the other hand, is a pretty solid pick. And Shrifty, I think, would be a second pick. Telo's pretty iconic. I think it's one of those standout Pokemon for normal flying types. And I see it as another Pidgey, kind of. So I'll put it in cool. And Swallow, a lot of people got carried by this Pokemon in XY, if I believe so. So I'll put it in cool. It's definitely not a top pick for me, but my boy Wingull, once again, I'm a big joyous for Alola, and this Pokemon was huge for it. So I'm gonna put Wingull in cool, just because of Drizzle and BCG. Setup play, top pick has to be Pelipper. I think it is overrated for some people, and I can agree with such and why it would be overrated, but it's just the place for it for me. Ralts is a pretty cool Pokemon, and I think it's a second pick for me. If it were a starter, I would choose it. Cruella, it's another cute Pokemon. I think it'd be another second pick. Obviously, Gardevoir has to be a top pick. Same with Mega. I named mine Rain, my very first Gardevoir, and it's one of my favorite Pokemon by far. Its Mega is even better, and it enhances it so much. And I use it for singles play. I love Gardevoir. Next up is Surskit. Honestly, I have no use for this Pokemon, so never use it. Honestly, I think I'll put it in trash. It's just a Pokemon I never use. And I think I have used it, and it didn't really do much. So, yeah. Masquerain, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I think it's got some pretty good usage, so I'll put it in cool. Shroomish, one of the hardest Gen 3 encounters to get in the remakes, because that's the one I played. Honestly, it's a never use. It's definitely got use, but for me, nah. Breloom though, definitely one of the second picks for sure. It's got some really good usage. So Slackoth, I really hate this Pokemon, but yeah, no. If I could skip this evolution, I think I would, but I'm gonna put it in cool because it is a really good line. Vigoroth, its second evolution, it's alright. It's better than the first one for sure, but Trant really kicks you in the shins, so I'll put it in lower, like second pick. While obviously Slackoth, the man himself, for me is also a second pick. For some of you, it's probably a first with this power, but high risk. But Slackoth is a really good Pokemon. Nincada, I don't really care for it. It's definitely a PC prisoner. Ninjask, pretty cool design. I don't think I'd ever use it. Shedinja, it's gotta be a second pick, obviously. It's a pretty funny Pokemon to use competitively. So yeah. Whismur, never use this. PC prisoner. Loudred is pretty solid, so I'll put it in cool with its final evolution, Explode. It's gotta be a second pick. Mechirida, its shiny is pretty solid. I got that recently. I'll never use it, so that's where it's gonna go. And its evolution, Hariyama, it's a solid fighting type. I'll put it in cool. And the baby form of Azurill, it's so adorable, dude. If I could, I'd put it in second pick, but it's like useless. So, yeah, cool. Nose Pass, I think is pretty stand-out-ish. I think Nose Pass is pretty cool, and honestly, I think it might be a second pick. Skitty, I heard it's got some crazy uses and stuff, but I don't really care for it, so I'll put it in cool. Delicati, I don't know. I like Skitty more, so never using you for this one. Sableye, honestly, one of my favorite dark type Pokemon. I'm pretty sure it's dark, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's dark. Sableye, it's a second pick for me. It's Mega Evolution I have no experience with, so no experience. Mawile, honestly, I really want to get a shiny variant of this one. I think it's going to be a second pick. It's Mega Form though, it's just too cool not to put it in top picks. Its shiny variant is even cooler. I really like this Mega. Onto one of the coolest lines in my opinion. We got Aron. Aron deserves some respect, so I'm gonna put him in cool. His evolution, honestly never using you. If I could skip that entire evolution, I would. And Aggron, definitely a top pick. He's an absolute monster, bro. Monster. But I'm not too big on Aggron. I'm gonna be real. So I'm gonna put it in second, mainly because it's Mega is something I would pick, like guaranteed. So Mega in top pick, and base Aggron just being in second. Meditite is just one of those Pokemon that I catch for the deck, so I'll put it in the never use you. Well, Medicham actually is a pretty useful Pokemon, so if it were a second pick, I would so use it. I think this is a Mega. Why have I never seen this? I'm just never experienced. One of my favorite electric lineups is starting with Electrike. I think its first evolution is cool. Manectric is by far one of my top picks. Hoenn was carried by this thing, and I beat my father in his own gym with this thing against a crazy Slackoth. So, props to my Electra. Its Mega variant is also pretty good. If I were to choose a Mega for any electric type, it would be this. So, with that being said, it'll be a top pick Mega. Plus is alright. It's just one of those Pokemon I never use. Same with Minus. Both of them are just Pokemon I wouldn't use. Volbeat, PC Prisoner. I don't really care for this Pokemon, like, at all. Aluma, same deal. PC Prisoner. It's just that duo that I really don't care about. Roselia's pretty tough, so I'll put it in cool. Glopin is, pretty funny, but I personally won't ever use it. But Swellow, on the other hand, it's a pretty cool Pokemon. Caravana, it's a cool looking Pokemon, so that's where I'm gonna put it in Sharpedo. It's gotta be a second pick. Same with its Mega. I haven't personally used it, but I know it's pretty good, so I'll put it in also second pick. Whalmer, the big man himself, pretty cool Pokemon. Its Shini's even better. And Wailord is obviously got to be a second pick. He's a terrifying opponent. Numble's pretty solid, so I'm gonna put it in cool. But Camerupt, on the other hand, it's one of my top picks, especially for Hoenn. It was my main fire type. Its Mega as well is going in top picks. I mean, it just boosted. I feel the same way about Camerupt as I do Manectric, and that's just how it is. Torkoal's pretty solid. I think it's a pretty cool fire turtle, so I'm gonna put it in cool. Spoink is one that I'll never use. I kinda like its design and stuff, but I'll never use it. Grumpig is even worse. It's got to be a PC Prisoner. I genuinely just I don't know. I don't really care for it that much. Spinda has way too many variants for me not to put it in at least cool, so I'll put it there. Trapinch, I really like its design and stuff, but it's definitely not a second pick, so I'll put it in cool. Vibrava, I'll never use it. If I could, I'd skip that. I'm not a huge Flygon fan, but Flygon is next, and I know he's got some pretty good use. So for me personally, he'd be a second pick. For some, it'd probably be first, but Flygon has never been like a revolutionary Pokemon for me, mainly because I would choose Garchomp any day over Flygon. Cacnea, I think it's a cool looking Pokemon. While its evolution is something I think I would second pick, I'm not gonna lie. Swablu, I actually really like this Pokemon, so I'm gonna put this in cool. And its evolution, Altera, is honestly a second pick for me. Its Mega though is it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. I think I don't know. I don't know if it's there yet. I'll put it in second pick. Mega Altera. I don't know. I feel more comfortable putting it in second pick. Zangoose is actually a terrifying Pokemon, and it's definitely a second pick for me. I didn't even know this Pokemon existed till I played Gen 3, which is when it came out. I mean, I played future generations before playing Gen 3, so this Pokemon was absolutely horrifying when I first got my butt kicked by it. So Viper, cool design, so that's where I'm gonna put it. Lunatone, same. It's gotta be cool. Solrock, I see quite a bit, and I see that it has some usage, but for me, I'll never use it. Barboach, this little fish thing, it's gotta be a PC Prisoner. I'll never use this thing. Whiscash on the other side, this dude is the most tedious fish in the entire game to me, but it's got some really good usage, so it'll be a second pick for me. Corphish is honestly a Pokemon I'd never use, while its evolution, Crawdaunt, looks like a Pokemon I would actually use, so I will put Crawdaunt in second pick. Baltoy is another Pokemon that I would never use, but its evolution, Claydol, is a pretty cool Pokemon. Lileep, I hear, is a pretty decent, usable Pokemon. I've never personally used it, but I'm going to put it in cool, while its other evolution, Cradily, is going to be a second pick. I know it's got some really good stuff on it, so. Anorith, cool looking Pokemon, so that's where I'm gonna put it. While its evolution, Armaldo, is honestly probably a second pick. Next up, we got Phoebus, absolutely useless. Obviously, the only reason you should get this is for its evolution, which is Melodic. And honestly, it's got one of the best shinies in the game, and it's just overall beautiful Pokemon, and its usability is crazy, so I'm putting Melodic in top picks. Next up, we got the cast forms. The base one is never used. The sun one is pretty useful, so I think I'd put it in cool. Its rain one is the same level. The wind one I have no experience with, and that is all of the cast forms. Kecleon, this dude's pretty funny, so I'll put him in cool. Then we got Shuppet. Shuppet I think is a pretty cool Pokemon. Next up we got Bannet or Bannet, whatever you, however you want to pronounce it. I think it'd be a second pick. I like its design. Its purpose is pretty well. Second pick. Now, honestly, I don't know about that, actually. I think the Mega will be second pick. But its base form, I think I'll just put in cool with its prior evolution. Next up, we got Duskull. Cool looking Pokemon, so that's where I'm going to put it. Same with Dusclops. I don't really care for Dusclops too much, so I think... I don't know. It's definitely more usable than Duskull, but... Next up, we got Tropius. Pretty cool flying grass type. So I'll put it there. Chemico. Honestly, it's got to be never using you. Or, honestly, PC Prisoner. I don't know. Its Mega, though, I think is pretty cool. So that is the first Mega going into cool. Next up, we got Absol. I think Absol by himself is pretty solid. Pretty cool. Its Mega? It's got to be a second pick. Same with his other variant, his Mega Z. Its design is definitely a top pick, 100%. But just it as it's like its second Mega in its entirety it looks like 4 times better than its base one. I still like his base Mega, but the black and red is too tough. Next up, we got Wynaut, the baby form of Wobbuffet. I will personally never use it, but I do like it. Snorunt's pretty valid. It's honestly a PC Prisoner, though. Glalie, though, it's pretty solid. I'll put it in cool. And its Mega, I like the Dex entry where it kind of just like breaks its own jaw from the power, which is pretty messed up. So for an Ice-type Mega, I'm down to put it in second pick. Next up, we got Spheal. It's adorable. I'll put it in cool. Celio, it's got some really good usage. It's gonna go in cool as well. And Walrein, I think I'd be down to have it as a second pick. Clamperl is a Prisoner. Huntail I think isn't bad, but I think I'll never use it. Gorbis, I think it's a pretty cute Pokemon. Well, I wouldn't say cute, but like beautiful Pokemon, so I'll put it in never using you. And next up we got Relicanth. Honestly, it's gotta be a PC Prisoner. I don't think I've ever used it other than getting Regigigas. Luvdisc is by far a Prisoner. I don't care for that Pokemon at all. And now we got a really good line. We got Bagon to start off with. It's honestly a second pick. Just the entire line other than the Mega, I think is second pick. Salamence, for some of you, it's probably a first pick, but you know, when it comes to Dragon slots, I choose Garchomp over him. And obviously Rock Slide beats Salamence when it comes to that type of stuff. So the Mega I'll put in first, but everything else in second. This line's also crazy. We got Beldum. Beldum's a pretty cool Pokemon. I like the robotic like eyeball floating around. It's pretty cool. Metang, it's pretty solid as well. I'm gonna put it. Honestly, I think it's a solid second pick for me. No, it's not. No, it's not. I think it deserves a cool placement. Metagross, on the other hand, obviously, it's a top pick. Oh, okay, actually. Yeah, Metang, I'm going to put in second. Metagross in top picks. Dude's a menace. Heavy boy body slam. It's too good. You get the Mega. I think it's better. I don't know. I haven't really used it much, but I know it's also pretty crazy. Next up, we got Regirock. I actually respect the Regis a lot. Regirock, I hated when he was in Sun and Moon and stuff, but Regirock I think could be a second pick here. Regice is, I think it's cool, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I would choose Regirock over Regice. I don't know. I think its design is better, but I don't know. Registeel I have some mad respect for. Actually, probably because I got a shiny of him on accident playing Galar. So, you know, I have some extra bias there, but Registeel is a solid second pick for me. Now we got Latias. Latias is probably a second pick for me. Actually, I don't know. I'm not huge on Latias. I think it's cool, but I'm not huge on it. It's Mega. I haven't really experienced. So both Latias and Latias's Megas, I'm going to put in never experienced. Latios by himself is by far a second pick. I don't know. I just like the blue one more. It's my favorite color. And it's just a young variant of me coming out. Kyogre, the big bad man himself. It's got to be a second pick, mainly because his primal form is 100% a top pick. Groudon, same with Kyogre. It's got to be a second pick because I have others that would take their place. But Primal, it's got to be a top pick. Rayquaza, a lot of people say this Pokemon is overrated, which I can see where they're coming from, but I don't care. I'm putting it in second pick. I'm not a huge legendary fan. Like, I never have legendaries on my team ever, unless it's for like a task or something. I have used them a little bit, especially in Omega Ruby. So the Mega variant, I have a connection to from the tower, and it's got to be a top pick. And its shiny is absolutely gorgeous. Now, on the end of Gen 3, we have Jirachi. This mythical, I think it's really cool. I'm pretty sure it has some use in competitive play and just battling in general. So out of all the mythicals, I think that's the only one that I would put in second. Deoxys is honestly one of the most cool legendaries in my opinion. So I think it'd be another second pick. And to finish off Gen 3, the other variants of Deoxys, I don't have experience with, so that's exactly where they are going. Off to Gen 4, we are starting off with Turtwig. Now, this, like I said at the beginning of the video, I have not played this generation at all. So, all of my information is coming from other games that they were included in. Turtwig, by himself, is probably a second pick. I actually really like him. He's a beefy boy. His second evolution is gotta be in cool, because I don't really care for it too much. Torterra, absolute menace, man. Absolute menace. He's got to be a second pick. Chimchar, just fire monkey. You know, it's like their second copy of Charmander. I'm gonna put him in second pick. Monferno, on the other hand, has to go in cool. Same with the other middle evolution. I don't really care for it too much. And Infernape, I think, is the only one in this generation that actually has a top pick slot for me. Piplup's pretty cool. It's adorable. It's definitely not a second pick for me, but I'll put it in cool. Prinplup, never using this Pokemon if I could. And Empoleon, major threat, dude. You know, if I had like a roster of what Pokemon to use out of 3, I would choose I would choose him. He's a good Pokemon. Moving from the starters, we got Starly. I think it's one of the good, like, non-starter early game starters that you could have. Starly, I'm gonna put its first evolution only in cool, mainly because its other evolutions are way higher. Staravia, also cool. I don't really care for it that much. I'd rather use Starly, but I think it still fits there. And Staraptor, it's gotta be a second pick. It's just another duplicate of Pidgey, so, you know, no hate. It's Mega Variant. I have no experience with other than battling it one time, so I'm just going to put it in never experienced. Next up, we got God. This is by far a top pick. Bobarrel, I don't really care for it, so I'm going to put it in never using you, because, I don't know, I just don't care about it. Kricketot is just one of those PC prisoners. I'll never use it. Its evolution, though, Kricketune, I can see myself using it, so I'll put it in the cool. I really love this next line. We have Shinx next, mainly because I grew with it when I got a shiny with it, and then I used it on my team. So Shinx, I think, is a solid second pick. Luxio's alright, but I'm only going to put it in cool, while Luxray is honestly... I would choose Manectric over it any day, so I'll probably put it in second pick. Badoo, obviously PC prisoner. And then Roserade, the add-on for this generation. Roserade is a cool Pokemon. I don't think I'd use it, but Cranidos is pretty intimidating. I don't like using it, so I'm gonna put it in never using you. But it's Rampardos, which is absolutely horrifying, so I'm gonna put him in second picks. Shieldon's pretty tough, so I'll put him in cool, while his counterpart, Bastiodon, slow but solidly powerful for defense. I think it'd be a good defense for me, so for a second pick, I think he would be a good defense option. Burmy and Wormadam's entire line, I really don't have experience with, other than catching them in Arceus and stuff like that. That's it. So I'm just gonna put it in never experienced. Same with Mothim. I don't know anything about that Pokemon. Combi though, I actually really like this Pokemon, so I'll put it in cool. And Vespiquen has to be a second pick. Pachirisu, it's just a rip-off Pikachu. So I'll just put it in never using you. Weasel, I used it in my Hisuian team, so I'll put it in cool. It's evolution though. Floatzel, I don't think it's a second pick at all, so I'll also just put it in cool. Cherubi, it's never using you. Honestly, a PC prisoner. It's just one of those Pokemon I don't really see a use for. Same with its evolution. We do have its battle second form though, and I do actually like this Pokemon, so I like that form, so I'll put it in cool. Both forms of Shallows, I think they're both cool. I like the colors that they used for them, and they stand out. For Gastrodon though, the original, honestly, because of Hisui, I think it's a second pick for the base form, but for the other form, it's kind of just cool to me. And there's the man we spoke of before. Ambipom is solidly a second pick. Drifloon's got some crazy lore behind him, so he's a pretty cool Pokemon. Drifblimp is a little bit cooler. I think he'd be a second pick for me. Baneri, I don't really care for it. I have used it, so I'll put it in cool. It was pretty solid. It was a pretty solid starting early game Pokemon. Then we have Lopunny. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna put it in cool. Its Mega is I'm gonna put it in second pick. Miss Magius, I think it's a really good Pokemon. I'll put it in second pick. An add-on for the other one, we got Honchkrow. I don't really care for him too much, so I'll just put him in cool. Glameow is one that I would never use. And Purugly is just kind of funny, but it's also another Pokemon I would never use. And then we got Chingling! Chingling! I think it's a cool Pokemon. Stunky's valid. It's one that I'd never use, but it's Skuntank is a pretty cool Pokemon. Next up we got Bronzor, a Pokemon that I'll never use, but its evolution Bronzong is a pretty honestly, it's so valid, I'm gonna put it in second pick. Bonsly, a cute little tree plant, even though it's not even a tree. Mime Jr., I don't really care for this Pokemon all that much, but it is pretty cool, so I'll put it there. Happiny, it's adorable, so I'll put it in cool. Chatot, it's never using you. I don't think it's trash. I think there's use, but it's not one I would use. Spiritomb is probably one of the cooler looking Pokemon, so that's where I'm gonna put it. And my main boys, this is one of my favorite Pokemon in all of history. Gible is by far a top pick. Gabite, on the other hand, is probably just a cool Pokemon. It's alright, I don't really care for it too much. Both the Mega and the base form, actually just the base form of Garchomp is top pick, while its Mega is more of a second pick for me, mainly because his speed is lowered. And speed is kind of crucial for dragons, especially if you're going up against different types. So, Mega Garchomp is a second pick. Next up, we got Munchlax, the add-on to Snorlax. Munchlax is pretty solid. I'll put him in second pick. Railu, this entire line is pretty crazy. So Railu is definitely a second pick, and it's obviously Lucario and Mega Lucario both are by far top picks, 100%. And the Z Mega I have not experienced. The Baby Hippo, I don't care for it too much, so it's got I don't know, it's kind of mid. I'll just put it in never using you, and then its evolution is a cool Pokemon. Actually, honestly, it'd be a second pick for another defense Pokemon. I think it's really good on defense, so. Scorpy, cool looking Pokemon, so that's where I'm gonna put it. While Drapion, probably a second pick for poison type. I'm not a huge poison type trainer, but Drapion is probably one of the only ones that I'd really use. Krogunk, it's an alright Pokemon. I don't think I'd personally use it too much, but it's still pretty cool. I'll put it there. Toxicroak is by far one of the ones of the poison types that I would use for second picks. Carnivine, I think it looks like a cool Pokemon, but I don't think I'd use it much. Finneon, another PC prisoner. Its evolution though, Lumineon or whatever, pretty cool looking Pokemon. And then we got Baby 4 Mantike. This Pokemon's pretty cute, so I'll put it in cool. Next up we got Snover. I got a lot of shinies of this dude somehow. Snover, pretty solid Pokemon. Abomasnow, too good. Second pick. For an ice type Mega though, honestly, it's also a second pick. Mainly because we have one coming up that's way better. Weevil, really solid Pokemon still. Sneasler's line in general is pretty solid, so Weevil is a second pick. Magnezone's pretty solid, another second pick. Lickilicky can disappear. Once again, it's just weird. I think it can be good, but it's just a Pokemon I would never use. And added on to Golem, we have Rhyperior. This dude is an absolute menace. It's going to be another second pick. Tingrowth is probably one of my favorite Pokemon, mainly because of Pokopia now. For battling wise, not too much, so I'll just put it in cool. Electivire is a really solid electric type Pokemon for stats and stuff, so I'll put it in second. Same with Magmortar. I mean, it's just an all-around pretty good Pokemon. And my boy Togekiss, when it comes to a flying fairy, it's a top pick. Yanmega, it's okay. I don't think it's crazy, so I'll just put it in cool. Leafeon, out of all the evolutions, I think it's probably one of the coolest picks, but honestly, for me, it gets beaten by Glaceon, which is a second pick for me. Next up, we got Gliscor. Honestly, a hard second pick. This Pokemon's actually really good, and I like it. Mamoswine is one of the really good ice types, so once again, probably another second pick. We're getting a lot of good second picks right now. Man, these Pokemon in these two regions are crazy, man. Porygon Z, like I said earlier in the video, it's by far a second pick. Gallade is pretty solid. I don't know, it's kind of like a glass cannon. I don't really know. I think it's more of a cool. I don't think Gallade's insane. Mega Gallade though, I don't have enough experience, so I'm gonna put it there. If I did have experience, out of just looks alone, I'd probably put it second pick, but I don't even think that's the case. Probopass is pretty sweet. I actually really like the Pokemon's look, and I don't think I'd really use it though, so I'm gonna put it in the cool tier. Dusknoir is an add-on for Cyclops, or whatever his name was. I think he's pretty solid. I don't think it's one I would... Oh, actually, I think for his typing, it might be a second pick. Frostlass, honestly, one of my favorite ice types in the entire game, is going into second pick. Once again, its Mega is the one I was speaking of earlier, where it's my favorite ice type Mega, and it's absolutely insane. But its base form, Glass Cannon, I don't know. It's you got to play specifically around that Pokemon. Rotom's pretty solid. I think I can confidently say it's a pretty cool Pokemon. There's two that are actually really good in my eyes. The first one is the Oven. I think the Oven would still only be in the cool tier because the water type variant, Water Electric, is kind of crazy, so I'm gonna put that one in second pick. And then the Fridge, or the Freezer, is also probably cool. I haven't had too much experience with it, so that could be just a scuffed ranking, but I'm gonna put it in cool. The Fan and the Lawnmower, neither of those have I really had experiences with other than TCG. On to the ending of Diamond and Pearl, we have Uxie as our first legendary. I think Uxie's pretty solid. It's one that I never use. I don't really care for its design. Mespit is a lot more usable. I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon. And by far, out of those three, Azelf is my all-time favorite. So when it came to those three, it would be my second pick. Dialga, when it comes to the legendaries in that game, I think I can put Dialga in top pick. while the origin form is even cooler, actually. So I'll also put that in top pick. Palkia, I care a little bit less about. I don't really care for the design too much, so I'll just put that one in second pick. Same with its origin form. Heatran, I don't really care for this Pokemon all that much. It's just a Pokemon I wouldn't use. It's just something I catch. That's about it. I completely forgot that Heatran actually has a Mega, and I've never even experienced it, so I'm just gonna put it there. Regigigas is by far one of my favorite legendaries. That dude is just utterly terrifying, but I'm gonna put him in second pick. Giratina, normal form, I feel like I would put it in second pick, while its origin form looks way too cool not to pass up and put into top picks. Cresselia, I think it's a cool Pokemon. I don't think it's anywhere up there, because if I want to go for anything like Cresselia, I think I would go Xerneas probably for the fairy type, but that's about it. Fion, I don't have experience with this. Same with Manaphy. I don't have enough experience to really rank them. It's mythicals. It's not like I would really know anyway, especially given I haven't played these gens. So I'm a little foggy in that area, but Darkrai, by far one of my favorite Pokemon. It just looks really cool, so I'll put it in second picks. Didn't even know this dude had a Mega, so no experience. The mythical Shaman. Cool looking Pokemon. I respect it. The flying form of it is even better, but it's still only going in cool. And obviously Arceus. Come on, dude. He's got too much versatility. You know, he's got to be top pick. And it seems like this is another mythical? Victini. I think I've seen him on the anime. Maybe a little bit. Or maybe online somewhere. I don't even recognize this dude, really. So yeah, that is the end of Gen 4. Moving on to Gen 5, we have Snivy to start off with. I have to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad I didn't get any of these starters from playing this game, because I genuinely don't care about any of them. Snivy, it's alright, I'll put it in cool. Its second evolution, I'll also put it in cool. Actually, the entire line, I'll put in cool. You know, it looks good. I think it looks good, but that's about it. I can't see myself using them. Tadpig looks completely useless, so I'm putting him in never using you. I don't care for Tadpig. His entire line is so weird to me, and I don't mess with it. Embror, I kind of respect. So I'm down to put him in cool, and the only one going in second pick in this entire startup is Oshawott and second picks. The rest of the starters and stuff are just going in cool. I sound like a hater, but man, I really... That is by far my least favorite starters in the entire series. Next up, we got Patrat. Completely useless to me. Never using you. Watchdog's pretty chill, so I'm okay with putting it in cool. Lillipup is actually pretty respectable. I actually like this Pokemon, so I'll be putting Lillipup in cool. I actually like the little mustache dog. It's pretty tough. I kind of mess with it. And obviously Scotland has to be a second pick. I actually madly respect this Pokemon. Purloin, I think it's a good looking Pokemon, so I'll be slapping it in cool. And Leopard, I think if it had a good moveset, I think I could use it, you know? So second pick is a solid place for me for Leopard. Next up is the Elemental Monkeys. We have Grensage, I think? No, Pansage. Honestly, this is one of my, like, team members for X and Y, and I don't know, it was kind of mid. I kind of thought all of these Elemental Monkeys were kind of mid. I know some of you might not agree, which is perfectly fine, but for this one, for Pansage, it's gotta be second pick for me. Simbasage, obviously, like I said, it was on my X and Y team. I have to respect it. Second pick. Now, Pansear, or Seer, I think it's alright. I don't think it's anything crazy. Same with its evolution, but the water variant of the two, Panpour, I actually respect this one. I think if I had a slot open and there was nothing else, I could choose Panpour. And same with Semipour. Next up, we got Munna. I think it's basically just the unborn baby. I will never be using that. Now, Mishama, I actually like. I like it shiny and stuff. I did get it shiny in Pokemon Go. It was useful. It was useful, I will say. So I will put it in cool, but it is definitely not a second pick. Pidove, literally just a pigeon. Honestly, it's gotta be trash for me. I don't know. And if not, you know what? I can't say it's trash, but I will say it is a PC prisoner. Tranquil isn't bad, so I'm okay with putting it in cool. Blitzel is pretty positively good. I kind of like Blitzel. So its first evolution, I think, is just cool. But if I had to choose, I would definitely use Zebstrika for a second pick. Roggenrola, I think, is pretty iconic. It stands out along the rest. So for like a starting rock Pokemon, like early game, I would definitely have it as a second pick. Same with Boldore. I gotta be honest, I really like the design and just the stats that this Pokemon has. I think it's a pretty solid rock choice for a lot of games, actually. So with that being said, Gigalith is, you know, its shiny is too good to pass up. I don't think it's a top pick, but it's definitely a second. I don't know, just this whole lineup, I would second choose if I had the chance. If it weren't for, you know, Gigalith being just like a filler, he would be a top pick for me. Next up, we got Woobat. I see no use with this dude, and every time I've used him, he was pretty trash, so I'm putting Woobat in trash. Swoobat, on the other hand, he does have some use, and I kind of mess with it, so he's going in the cool section. Now, these next three are actually really, really cool. Drillbur to start off with. It's definitely a cool Pokemon. I definitely run with him on my team. Obviously, Extra Drill. Come on, man. I think he deserves a solid place in top picks. He's an intimidating Pokemon, and that's excluding his Mega, which is going in never experienced because I've never used his Mega. I've never been a big enough fan to use Extra Drill as much as I should, and so I've never used his Mega personally. Basealdino, I actually hate this Pokemon because I see it so often. It's got a Mega apparently, so I'm putting that in never experienced. Next up is Timber. Now for uncommon top Pokemon picks, this dude is up there. Honestly, I understand it. He's pretty good. It's pretty valid. I'll put his first evolution in cool. Girder, it's probably another cool. But Conkeldurr, it's gotta be a second pick, man. Second pick for sure. Next up is Timepole. I think it's definitely a Pokemon that stands out, and I like its frog evolution type deal. So I think it's cool, but it's nothing I would use, so I'm putting it never using it. Palpitoad, I think it's a decent Pokemon. I haven't used it much, but it is pretty. It's not bad. Seismitoad, honestly, it's right in between second pick and cool, but for me personally, it leans more for cool. I've never really used this dude, and I don't know, he's not like a big key in stone for a fill-in spot, you know? So next up we got Throw, the fighting type, and this dude's kind of a pain to catch in Pokemon Go because he's always so far away. But other than that, he's pretty solid, so I'll put him in cool. Same with his variant. I actually like the blue color a little bit more, but both of them are cool for me. Sewaddle is, it's either between trash or never using you. It looks alright, so I'll give it some mercy in never using you. Swadloon, honestly, I don't have enough experience with this dude. I've only gotten its final evolution, really, and used the first evolution. I've not used its middle, so I'm gonna put that in not experienced. And the final evolution is Levani. It's got some use, so I'll put it in cool. Next up, we got a really good line. We got Venipede. Venipede is pretty solid, so I'm gonna put it in cool. Middle evolution, Whirlipede, also another cool Pokemon. And Whirlipede is automatically going in second pick. His shiny line is really good, and he's overall, I think, a really good top choice for a poison type Pokemon. With its Mega, other than ZA and that one promotion match, maybe another battle I had with, you know, that gang in ZA, I have no experience with the Mega, so I'm going to put it in never experienced. Next up is Cottony. It's really good in doubles. That's all I'm gonna say. I think that one's a cool one, and come on, bro. Whimsicott, it's like a meta right now. It's like a meta. So honestly, with that being said, it's got to be a second pick. Fantastic for doubles, and really, I'm pretty sure I'm not 100% like into VCG because of champions. I have gotten a little bit more invested, but I think it has the move Prankster. And what that does is it makes it where no matter what, it kind of goes first with priority. So next up is Petalil. Completely useless to me, PC prisoner. Next up is Lilligant. It's got some use, but I personally don't use it, so I'm just gonna put it in never using you. Now the Hisuian form of Lilligant is actually pretty solid, so I'll put it in cool. Next up is Basculin and his many forms. Honestly, I've never really cared for this Pokemon. It's kind of just been there for Dex entries, so I'm just gonna say never using you. Like, I've used him a little bit, but that's about it, and that's all I cared about was trying him, and that was kind of it. Like, I'm not saying he's trash, but I don't know, I just don't really care for him too much. Next up, we got Sandile. I think it's a really cute crocodile, so I'm gonna put it in cool. Crocorock, really good shiny and stuff, so it's also going in cool. And Crocodile, by far, it's gotta be a second pick. I mean, it's just a solid overall Pokemon that I know of anyway. Duramaka, he's alright, but I used him on Dynamax and Pokemon Go, and that was it. And that's because he was common, so never using you for there. The Alolan form, actually, it's Galarian form, actually. I think it's cool. I like its design a lot more, actually, so that's where I'm gonna put it. Darmanitan, honestly, it's a lot better, so I'll put it in cool, and its grown-up form looks wonky as hell. I think other than Dex, that is the only time I've seen that, so I'm just gonna put it in never experienced. The other one's called Zen Damarian or whatever. I've never seen that. Next up, we got Marctus. I think this Pokemon looks good, so I'm gonna put it in cool. Same with Drebel. It's a cute rock little crab thing. It's like a hermit crab. And Crustle, other than catching it, I have no experience with it. Next up is Scraggy. This guy was actually on one of my teams. I think it was actually Sword that he was on my team. So in Galar, I actually picked him up because in X and Y, when I got used by high jump kick, it hurt. So I really wanted that for myself, and man, did I use it. Scraggy, confidently, for me, is a second pick. Scrafty himself, when it comes to fighting types and stuff, I think I'm okay with putting him in first pick. I mean, I could just use Lucario when it comes to this list, but I don't know, I love me some Scrafty. Now, other than the roaming Mega Fight, I have not seen or really battled the Mega of Scrafty because it's new, but it looks cool, and I have battled it. So if I had to choose, it would be a top pick. Next up is Sigalith. This was actually my very first shiny that I ever caught in any Pokemon game. It was Ultra Sun and Moon in the Sky wormhole. And I randomly got a shiny. No shiny charm, nothing. I just got it. So this is the chosen one for me. But I'm still going to only put it in cool because I don't think it's anything revolutionary. I'm pretty sure he has at least a little bit of play in VCG, but I'm not completely educated on him. Next up is the Yamasks. The original one, honestly, it's pretty tough, so I'll put that one in cool. The Galarian form of it, I actually like a little bit better. It's mainly because the purple and stuff. The mask is still really good, and I think it's cool. But, I mean, for both in general, I think I'm still going to put them both in cool. The Coffin Boy, his name's kind of hard to say. I'm going to try, though. Coffigrigus. Hey, that sounds correct. Honestly, it's a second pick. I know he could be pretty crazy, so second pick is probably the highest I'll go because I've never personally used him that much, but I know he's good. Next up is Tortuga. I think it's a cool, just sea turtle. I don't really know. And then Caracosta. I could say I have experience with this guy. I played Super Mystery Dungeon. Next up is Archon. I feel like a lot of Pokemon in this generation had a lot of entries in the Mystery Dungeon series that I took part in, and so I like them a little bit more. Archon, one of my home dogs. Okay, so I'm gonna put him in second pick, and his evolution, I mean, it's alright. I think its flying pattern is pretty goofy, so I'm gonna put it in cool. He does like this weird like wiggle flight animation thing, and it's funny. He looks like a derpy dinosaur, and that's my favorite part about him. Next up is Trubbish. I'm not going to hate on it too much. It is literally just a bag of trash. So honestly, I'm going to put it in trash. Garbodor. Madly respect this dude. I think it'd be a solid second pick for a poison type. Garbodor and, you know, all those poison moves. Pretty solid. The Gigantamax Garbodor. I love it. I really do. I think it's so cool just having all the garbage and stuff in like part of him. So it's definitely going into a second pick. Zora, probably one of my favorite shinies in the entire game and series. Zora, I think, is so cool. I don't think it's second pick, but just for looks alone, it gets itself into cool. And obviously, the Trickster type is pretty fun to play around. Now, the Hisuian version is probably a second pick. It looks too cool, and I think I would actually use this Pokemon. Base Zoroark, it looks alright, so I'm gonna put it in cool, just to respect it, but it's not like the craziest thing to me. Hisuian one, it looks too cool not to have on a team. It's gotta be a top pick. It's just so cool, it looks cool. Next up is Minccino. A lot of people love this Pokemon. I like its evolution more, so I'll put this one in cool, and its evolution, Cinccino, is, in my opinion, a lot cooler, and I madly respect it, so it's gotta be a second pick. Gothita, it's alright, I guess. Just never using it though, I guess. I don't really know. It's cute, but I wouldn't use it. Now Gothorita, I think I would actually use, so I'll put it in cool, and its evolution, Gothitelle, I think is honestly a second pick. It's not like the craziest thing, but for a psychic type, it's not bad. Solosis is probably one of my favorite, like, Ditto feeling type deals. It's nothing I would use, so I'll put it in never use. Duosion, I don't know how you pronounce it. I think this one's alright, so I'll put this one in cool. Its final evolution, which I will also not try and attempt its name. I don't know if it's second pick. I don't know. I'd say it's fairly used, so I think second pick is alright with me. Ducklet's pretty funny, so no hate on it. I'm gonna put it in cool. Swanna, on the other hand, it's just a Pokemon I wouldn't use, to be real. It's just a swan. So, Vanillite, I really like this Pokemon. Its baby form, I could put it in second pick. I'd be so down, you know, if I had like a bunch of babies, I could like, yeah, dude. Vanillish, same deal. It's going to be a second pick. And Vanillux, also a second pick. Just the whole line. I don't think it's not really good competitively that much, but I love its design, and it looks like a Pokemon, and has been a Pokemon that I actually used. So it's my list. Next up, we have all the Deerling variants. For all of them, I've never used any of them. I have just caught them. So for that, I'm putting all these variants in unexperienced, and we'll move on. Next up is Sawsbuck. Same deal. Just this whole line I have not really played with. Now, the grass variant I actually have, and honestly, it wasn't bad, so I'll put this one in cool. Next up is Emolga. I know some of the people that play this series is a fan of Emolga. But for me, it's just a cool Pokemon. Carablast, I don't know. This next one is super weird for me. I'll never use Carablast, and its evolution of Escavalier, I don't know, it's weird. It looks super cool, so I'm also going to put this one in cool. Foongus is pretty valid. I've never been a big fan of it, but I'm gonna put it in cool mainly because its Amoonguss evolution is a lot better, and honestly, I'd be so down for a second pick on this guy. Frillish, male and female. I don't really have much experience on, so I'm gonna put both of them in there. Jellicent, it's kind of tough, and its typing is also pretty tough, so I'm gonna put both of these in cool, and we will move on. Next up is Alalamola. They're just running out of names at this point. I never really cared for the fish, so I'm just gonna never using you. Next up is Joltik. A lot of people like how cute this little jumping spider thing is, so I'm gonna put it in cool. And its evolution of Galvantula. Again, they're running out of names. I'm just gonna put it in cool. I think I'd be willing to use it for sure. Ferroseed is, it's not bad, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Ferrothorn, though, is definitely one that I've used, and it's not bad, so I'll put it in cool. Next up is Clink. Kind of just caught it, never used it. PC Prisoner. Clang, it's not bad. I gotta put it in never using you, though, because I've never really used it. I don't know, I never really cared for it all that much. Klinklang, though, pretty solid Pokemon. I'll put it in cool. Dynamo was madly hyped up because of the streamer and ZA, so it has kind of grown on me, so I'm okay with putting it in PC Prisoner because I've never used this thing. Electric, though, is pretty valid. I think it's a good Pokemon. I'll put it in cool. And Electrotross, I think I can confidently put it in second pick. It's a good Pokemon. And its abilities and stuff, if I remember correctly, it doesn't have any disadvantages because it knows the ability Levitate. But I think there's something else you can do to counter that. And the Mega variant, I have not personally used, but adding everything from the first evolution to the Mega sounds insane, so I'm putting that in top pick. Next up is Elgem. It's alright. Never used it and probably never will. So it's going in never using you. But Beheeyem, pretty good Pokemon. I'll put it in cool. Next up is Litwick. I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon for like a starting early game ghost type. It would be a second pick. Lampent, I'm not a huge fan of it, so probably never using you. Chandelier, too good. Second pick for sure. Its Mega variant I have not experienced personally, so I'm just going to put it in never experienced. The next Pokemon has a insane line, and it is the line of Haxorus. I don't even know if this thing's counted as a pseudo-legendary, but honestly, it's just a really good dragon. Axew by itself is a second pick by itself. I'm not like obsessed with this Pokemon, but I know it's pretty loved. Its middle evolution, I'm just gonna put it in cool. I don't think it's nuts, to be real with you. And Haxorus, I'm surprised this Pokemon doesn't have a Mega, and I think this game really needs to give Haxorus a Mega. Cubchoo, I never really cared for. I kind of just like catch it and stuff, so it's going to be a PC Prisoner. Beardick, it's not bad, but I'm not a huge fan of it, so never using you. Kyogre, or however you say it, it's not bad. I'll put it in cool. I've never been a big fan of Shelmet, so I'm gonna put it in never using you, but its evolution, I kind of mess with it. A Celigore, cool looking Pokemon. I'll put it in cool. Stunfisk honestly just angers me, so just for funsies, I like putting it in my PC and leaving it there for eternity. I can never remember what this dude's type is, and it only gets complicated when he changes types for what form he is. Mienfoo is a really valid Pokemon, so I'm down to put it in cool, while it's superior. Mineshow, or Shua, or whatever the hell, it's a second pick. Next up is Druddigon. Love this dude. Rough skin on this guy is pretty good. If I had a open dragon slot, I think I would use him. Next up is Golett. Really good Pokemon. Probably gotta be a second pick. Golurk himself, is that a Mega? What? Golurk just looks tough, so he's got to be a second. He's got to be a second. I didn't even know there was a Mega till now, so I'm just going to instantly put it in not experienced. Next up is Pawniard. I like the chess separation between its evolutions. So, Pawniard is a cool. Bisharp is honestly a solid second pick, and we are not at the generation, but spoiler alert, King Gambit is by far a top pick. Buffalint, never really cared for this Pokemon too much, so I mean, I know it's good, but I'll never use it. Rufflet's pretty solid. I like this Pokemon. And Bravery, pretty cool. Now the Hisuian version, I think it might be a second pick. Adding Psychic to it, I mean, it's just another flying Psychic, and I think that's dope. Fighting types, fear me. Next up is Volibee. I don't care for this Pokemon. I really don't. I think it's a weird looking toddler bird. I'm a PC Prisoner. Mandibuzz though, slightly more respectable, but never using you. I don't care about Mandibuzz. Next up is Heatmore. Never using you. Never. Kevin Durant, honestly, I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon, so we're gonna put it in cool. Next up is Dino. It's got some really good use. I actually really like this Pokemon, and honestly, it's some of your guys' favorites. So with that being said, Dino is a second pick. I've never grew up with him being crazy to me, but his entire line is at least a second pick, honest. Hydreigon though, it's got to be a top pick. It's got some crazy starting potential in singles and more. Larvesta, I think it's a really cool looking Pokemon, so I'm gonna put it in cool. And Velcorona, pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think it'd be a second pick for me. Now we are at the worst legendaries introduced in the entire series, in my opinion. Other than Thundurus and Reshiram and Zekrom and Karem or whatever the hell his name is. Again, I have not played this generation. I don't care for Cobalion. Cobalion is the only one out of the defenders that I actually like. And honestly, I'd be down to put him second pick. But all of his buddies, I don't care for him. So never using you. And then there's Tornadus. Pretty chill. I'll put him in cool. I heard the Therian form is pretty cracked. So with that being said, I'm going to put him in second pick. Thundurus is probably one of my favorites out of the Thunders and stuff. So I'm going to put him in second pick. I don't know anything about his other form, so I'm putting that in not experienced. Next up is Reshiram, whatever you want to call it. It's a second pick for me. It's pretty tough. I like the way it looks, it sounds. It's a cool looking Pokemon. Zekrom is a top pick guaranteed. He is by far one of the most intimidating Pokemon in my opinion. And I mean, Zekrom alone, it's pretty chill. He's pretty cool, so he's a top pick for me. Next up is Landorus. He's another one that I really enjoy and like, so he will also be going in second pick. His other form, I don't know much about, so not experienced. Kyreem, whatever you call him. I have a little bit of experience with him, but he just, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, yeah, his typing's kind of nuts, kinda, but I think he still has more weaknesses. He's got to be a PC prisoner. There's no hate there. It's just I don't have enough information on him. And you could say, oh, well, put him in not experienced or whatever, but I have used him and I know he's good. I just can't rank him any higher because I don't know enough. The other two variants of him, I genuinely don't know. Like I said, I haven't played this generation, so I don't know anything about if those variants are crazy. Like some of you, if I started my Pokemon journey in Black and White, I'm pretty sure he would beat Lunala in my favorites. But here we are. Next up is Keldeo. I don't have enough information on him other than him being a mythical. That's it. I don't know. Same with his other form. Meloetta. I got her recently in some weird stuff. Vortex leaves in Paldea. Technically Unova, I believe, for the DLC. Meloetta is a cool Pokemon. Pirouette Meloetta, I have not seen that a day in my life. I heard Genesect is some people's favorites, but I don't have enough information on this dude, so never experienced. That wraps up Gen 5. We are now on Gen 6, and we are starting with Chespin. From this point forward, most of the games haven't added too much to the Pokemon rosters, and it seems like the numbers start to decrease the further we get into where we're going. But never mind that now, getting into Gen 6. Chespin, honestly, it's gotta be a second pick. I think Chespin's a solid option. His middle evolution, it's one of those scenarios where I don't really care for it, so I'm putting it in cool. Let me fix Chespin, put him in second pick. Chestnut, if I had the choice between the three evolutions, you know, I top pick by far. And adding on to it is his Mega. In person, I've never seen it myself in general, and I don't have enough information to rank it, so I'm putting it in never experienced. But from what I have seen, it would be a top pick. Next up is Fennekin. Some of your guys' favorites. It's a pretty solid Pokemon. I've never been a huge fan of it, but I will put it in second pick. Braixen, it's one of those Pokemon where it grows humanoid and it's controversial. Once again, I don't really care for the middle evolution. Honestly, it's better. It's better than Chespin's. I'm gonna put it in second pick. Next up is Delphox. I have not once used this Pokemon, so never experienced. It's Mega, same deal. On to the main man and most popular starter, I believe so, in the entire series is Froakie. Froakie, it's a top pick, obviously. I mean, he was my starter and stuff in X and Y, and I don't regret that. Frogadier, I think it's a second pick. It still looks good. It's not wonky. And everything beyond this point for Greninja is a top pick. I mean, you should have seen this coming. It's just how we are as the Pokemon community. Ash Greninja, Greninja, Mega Greninja. The only diss I have on Greninja's entire line, really, is the fact that his Mega is upside down. I didn't mess with it at the start, but it's kind of the same deal when it comes to Dragonite. A lot of us kind of disapproved with it, but it grew on us. It's not bad. Getting past the starters, we have Bunaby, never using you. Never mind. He's on my ZA team. I don't care for this Pokemon. He's just a filling spot because I didn't want to reuse any crazy Pokemon from X and Y. So he's got to go in cool. I don't really care for it that much. Diggersby, it's the same deal. I don't really care for it, but honestly, it's not even, nah, I don't care for it. I really don't care for it. I think it's a decent Pokemon, but I don't care for it. It's on my team, and I never like using him. Then we got Fletchling. Mad respect to this dude. The intro to all of X and Y and ZA, which is so cool. Luminos gets entried by this bird. Honestly, respect to its name, second pick. For battle, not at all. Fletchinder, I don't really care for it too much. It's okay, cool Pokemon. And Talonflame, mad respect to this dude. He's got some really good uses. Tailwind, setup, everything. He's just an overall really good carrier, especially in X and Y. And second pick. Scatterbug, absolute trash. I haven't added to the trash in a while, but Scatterbug is definitely in there. Spoopa, I like it better than Scatterbug. Never using you. Vivillon, though, beautiful Pokemon. I'll put it in cool. Next up is Leo. It reminds me of a meme I know of, but I can never pinpoint what meme that is. I'm just gonna put it in cool. Pyroar, holy bro. I think it was Area 17. My oh my. Cool Pokemon. I think this is the female variant. I don't know much about it. I'm sure it's just the same thing, but I'm just gonna put never experienced. It's Mega. I've never used, never seen. Don't really care. Flabebe. It's on my team. I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon. Floette, same deal. It's gotta be a cool Pokemon. Honestly, for me, Floette is kind of more of a second pick. I don't know. I really like this Pokemon, kind of. It just grew on me. And then we got Eternal Floette. Obviously, you already know this entire flower is just like the holy grail. It's got to be top pick. Same with its Mega, obviously. Like, give this thing a Eternamax or something. Like, this thing is intimidating. VCG and all right now. He's kind of nuts. Florges, I think it's a respectable Pokemon. And honestly, another second choice for me. Skiddo, I don't really care for. Skiddo's kind of actually mid. So never using you for Skiddo. Go-Go, same deal. Don't really care. Never using it. Have some respect on Pancham. I really like this Pokemon. Pancham, second pick, man. Early game, I would choose him. Same with its evolution, Pangoro. Dark fighting is pretty solid, so I'm putting it in second pick. I'm not even going to joke about Furfru and how he's crowding up the trading lines. So I'm just going to put Furfru in cool and forget that this dog even exists. Esper is pretty cool, but it's not a Pokemon I'd use. Both male and female Meowstics I do respect. The male variant isn't bad. I kind of like it, but the female I like a lot more. I like the more white, like the blue on white, so I'm going to have to put it in cool. I completely forgot there were Megas. I'm just going to put it in never experienced. Next up is Honedge. I like its typing, and it's really cool. I tried using this on my XY playthrough. There was just so much that replaced it. I'm not a huge fan of it, so I'm just going to put cool, because it is genuinely a really cool Pokemon. Doublade, same deal. Pretty cool Pokemon. But Aegislash, by far top pick. Cool Pokemon, really useful. Its stats are kind of good. Spritzy is confidently a never use. Aromatisse is the same deal. I like the look of Swirlix, so I'm gonna put it in cool. Slurpuff, man, oh man. Weird, goofy, silly child. PC Prisoner. Next up is Inky. I really like the way you evolve this Pokemon, and I have some mad respect for it, so I'm down to put it in cool. Melamar is pretty valid, so with that being said, I'm going to put it in second pick. It's Mega, I've never experienced. Binnacle, I've used it a little bit. I don't know, it's not my type of Pokemon, so I'm gonna put it in never using you. Barbicle, or whatever, pretty good though. Honestly, it's gotta be a second pick. I knew there was a Mega, but I've never really used it or anything, so never experienced. Next up is Skrelp. I don't have much experience with that. Dragolge is one of my favorite poison dragon types, and it's definitely not a second pick, but I think it's a really cool Pokemon. It's Mega, I've seen, I think it's pretty good. If I had the choice, it would be a second pick. Next up is Clauncher. It's alright, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it looks good. I would put it in cool, but it's something I would never use, so. Clawitzer, pretty solid. I'll put that one in cool. Helioptile, it's a Pokemon I'll never use, but its evolution, Heliolisk, is a pretty cool Pokemon, so that's where I'm gonna put it. One of my favorite dragons is here. Next, we have Tyrunt. I really like this Pokemon, and honestly, it's gotta be a second pick for me. Same with Tyrantrum. It's just a T-Rex, dude. It's too cool not to have it as a second pick. Then there is Amura. I think it's good, but I'm gonna put its first evolution in cool, mainly because Auroros is by far a second pick. Now for my favorite evolution is Sylveon. It's definitely not a top pick, but it's by far a second pick. Next is Hawlucha, and he is by far one of my favorite all-time Pokemon, and he's got to be a top pick for me. The dude carried me through Alola. There was just a lot of grass types and stuff like that that got completely countered by this dude, and he was my main. It's Mega. I've never used it personally, but I know it's absolutely insane. I'm still yet to see it shiny, which I have a shiny Hawlucha now, so maybe sometime I'll experience what that looks like, but it's Mega. Obviously, it's got to be up there with top picks. Next up is Dedenne. Don't care for this Pokemon, never used him, and it's always a PC prisoner. That's exactly where it's going. Carbink, pretty solid. I like it, but I've never used it, and I never will. This is where stuff gets interesting. We got Goomy. Honestly, second pick, bro. If you were a starter, I would choose him every time. Sligo, also pretty valid, but I don't know. I like Goomy's design more, so I'm going to put him in cool. The Hisuian one is a little bit more different, and it doesn't look like a Pokemon I'd use, so that's where I'm going to put it. Next ones are the big bad Goodras. The base Goodra is honestly a second pick, because only Dragon, but the Hisuian one is a crazy threat. So with that, I am making the Hisuian variant a top pick. Next up is Klefki. I like this. I like the steel type fairy. I think it's pretty fun, so I'm gonna put it in cool. Next up is Phantump. Phantump is one of my favorite ghost types, and okay, it's not a second pick. I think it looks cool, and that's about it. But it's Evolution Trevenant. It is a second pick. That dude looks menacing. I would love to have him. Pumpkaboo, it's alright. I don't really care. It's gotta be a PC prisoner. I don't really care about it. And then Gorgios, or whatever. I don't really care. Never using you. I've gotten it so much. I just don't... I don't know. Bergmite, it's cool. And Evolog, also pretty cool. But the Hisuian form of it, honestly, I'd be okay with making it a tank for a second pick. That'd be tough. Next up is Noibat. Honestly, I love Noivern and everything like that, so Noibat has to be a second pick for me. While Noivern, I don't think it's the craziest Pokemon, but it's gotta be a top pick for me. Getting to the legendaries and mythicals of X and Y and Gen 6, we are at Xerneas. I think this is the most overpowered fairy in the entire series, and honestly, it's gotta be a top pick. If it came down to Gardevoir and Xerneas, it'd be a tough call, depending on what opponent I have. Yveltal, one of my favorite death birds, and the only death bird, so also a top pick. Next up, we got the big man himself, Zygarde. I think Zygarde is super special in his own way. This is 50%, but honestly, I'm not huge on Zygarde because I have Garchomp, so I think I have to put him in second pick. 10% doesn't really change much. I actually don't really care for 10%, so I'm going to put it in cool, but still really, really interesting. 100% Zygarde. I think I have like 2 of these bad boys, and I haven't used him much, but he's definitely a top pick, because why wouldn't he be? Mega Zygarde by himself, the most detrimental Pokemon Mega in the entire series. Have you seen that beam? If you haven't seen that beam, you see that beam now. It's spooky. Top pick. Next up is actually my favorite mythical, Dancy. It is by far a second pick. I love Dancy. It's such a beautiful mythical, and it's Mega. It is my favorite Mega in the entire series. So it's got to be a top pick, bro. Even if I lost the battle, Mega Dancy would I'm going down in style. Next up is Hoopa. Other than just seeing him, I've never had him. I've never experienced anything about him. It's just gonna be never experienced. Same with Unbound. It's the same type of deal. I don't know anything about him. Volcanion though, really cool Pokemon. And out of mythicals and stuff, I gotta give it respect. It's gotta be second pick. Next up is Generation 7. This was my very first Pokemon game. And man, it brings back memories. To start things off, we got Rowlet. I think one of my favorite starters. So it's gotta be a second pick. And it makes sense to be a second pick because the dude got another form from a whole different Legends game, you know? So obviously, there's people for him. Dartrix is alright. It's just like its emo, grown-up, teenage self. So I'm okay with putting it in cool. I don't think it's second pick at all. I don't know. Meh. Angsty vibes. It's too much. Next up is Decidueye. Solid grass, bro. Solid grass. It's got to be a top pick for me. Decidueye is pretty cool, and if you don't agree, just know that I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Next up is the Hisuian variant. I think I like it a little bit less, so I'm gonna put it in second pick. It's still as good, but nah. Next up is my very first starter in any Pokemon game, Litten. Honestly, if I restarted knowing nothing, I think I would choose Litten again. Torracat's also pretty good, but I mean, it was just a bigger variant, and I don't think it was anything crazy, so I think it's got to go in second pick. And next up is the big bad Incineroar. This dude is the biggest threat in doubles, and some good reasoning behind it. Got to go in top picks. Next up is Popplio. I was never a big fan of Popplio, and I felt like Popplio had such a disadvantage in this region because it focused more on like types that beat it, I feel. But I don't know. I think Popplio is still pretty valid. I will put it in second choice. Next up is Brionne. I think it's all right, but it's a Pokemon I would never use, so I'm going to put it there. Primarina, craziest support. If I were choosing for a support, it would honestly be a top pick. After the starters, we have Pick-a-Peck. Never using this Pokemon. I caught it. That was it. Trumbeak, same ideal. Except this is a PC prisoner. And Toucannon, I love me some Toucannon, bro. It's got to be a second pick. Yungoos, absolutely useless to me. PC prisoner. Gumshoes on the other foot, though. Cool Pokemon. I'm okay with Gumshoes. It's not bad. Next is Grubbin. I wasn't a huge fan of it, and in my opinion, I think it's pretty trash. Charjabug, I can actually respect. Pretty cool Pokemon, so that's where it's going. Vikavolt, really cool Pokemon. Honestly, if I could, second pick. Crab Brawler, it's alright, but it's not any of them I would use, so never using him. A lot of people like his evolution. I'm not too crazy about it, and it's probably the same spot where I'd never use it and never will use it, but it's respectable. I'm okay with it. So for you lovers, I will put it in cool. It's Mega. I didn't even know I had a Mega. Next up, we have the Oreo-Corio lineups and variants. The red one, I don't really care for too much, so I think I'll just put it in cool. I mean, I did use it, wasn't bad. The yellow one is absolutely peak. I actually loved this one, so I would put this in second pick, and everything else is a never use. Cutiefly, it's okay, but I'll never use it. Now, Rabombi, I like it. I'm putting it in cool. Rockruff is actually one of my favorite dogs in the entire series, so with that being said, I'm putting it in second picks. Same with Rockruff, honestly, second pick. It's the closest thing I have to a dog in the entire franchise. Nightform, I know a lot of people that favorite this Pokemon a lot, but for me, I think it's just cool. It's not like crazy to me. I like its day form more, but no hate. Now Dusk form, if I had to choose any Lycanrocs, it's gotta be Dusk form. I think it's one of the most unique dog forms in the entire series, and I really like it. Top pick. Next up is Wishiwashi. You know what? I can't even hate on this dude because of his ability, but I'll get to that in a second. I'm putting him in trash because his ability Pokemon is here. School Wishiwashi is honestly a hard second pick. This dude is a absolute menace in a lot of scenarios. Next up is Mareanie. I like this Pokemon, so I'm just gonna put it in cool. Same with Toxapex. And then we have Mudbray. This was my second ever shiny in any mainline game ever, so I'm kind of biased, but I never use it, real shit. So because I have a shiny, I have to put it in PC Prisoner, because that's all it is. Mudsdale though, love this Pokemon. I think it's pretty solid, so I'll put it in cool. Dewpider though, it's okay. I'll never use it, but Aquanid is honestly a cool tier. I'm not gonna put it in second picks because, I mean, it's just there. For a bug type, yes, but overall, nah. Then we have Fomantis, once again, PC Prisoner. Lurantis is pretty solid, especially as a trial Pokemon. So with that, I'll put it in cool. Morlul, I'm not the huge fan of it, so it's going to be... I think it looks cool, so I'll put it in cool. And it still has use, even as a first evolution. It's its evolution Shionic that I like. And honestly, Shionic I think is a really good support and strategist Pokemon, so it's gotta be a second pick. Next up is Salandit. I really like me some Salandit, but it's honestly, no, I have used it. I'm just gonna put it in cool. Salazzle is a very, very valid pick, and a lot of people's favorites, so second pick. Next up is Stuffle, one of the cute little bears in the entire franchise. Stuffle alone is going in cool, but beware, that's a second pick option. Bounsweet is cute, and it was nice to see in the anime, but honestly, for in-game and a lot of aspects, for me personally, gotta be a PC Prisoner. Steenie has a little bit more respect for me, so I'll put it in cool. And then Serena, it's her. I'll put her in cool. She's alright. Next up is Comfey. I don't really care for this Pokemon, PC Prisoner. Or Nguru, or however you say his name. Never using you. But Passimian, I like this Pokemon. It's pretty solid, so I'll put it in cool. Wimpod, I mean, it stands out. It's just a silverfish. I think it's alright, but I'll never use it, so. Golisopod, though, beautiful, bro. At least second pick. I think it's a really useful Pokemon. And apparently it has a Mega. I didn't know that. Never experienced. Next up is Sandygast. I think it's a really cool sandcastle once it grows up, so I'm going to put Sandygast in cool. And Palisand, its shiny is fantastic. Look at that. Beautiful. I have one of those. Second pick. Payamuku, or however the hell you say that. I think its ability is kind of nuts, but it's got to be a PC Prisoner for me. Type Null is one of those Pokemons I just have a lot of respect for, and his history is pretty sweet. So I'm gonna put him as second pick. And some of your guys' favorites is Silvally, which is his unmasked variant. And for me, it's still a second pick. Nothing really changed for me. I think he looks... I don't know. I like his old variant more because he seems like more monstrous, kind of. But with his helmet off, it's a lot more friendly, which you can enjoy. But for me, it doesn't really change much. Next up is Minor, PC Prisoner. I don't have a use for this guy. Same with his even open shell. I don't know. Komala, I think it's a cute Pokemon, so I will put it in cool. Tridanator, whatever, dude. Super cool Pokemon. Honestly, really good defense. He's got the shield ability, I'm pretty sure. Second pick. Next up is Togedemaru. I really like this Pokemon as well. It's definitely not a second pick, though. I think it's cool. Next up is one of my favorite ghost types in the entire series, and that is Mimikyu. For competitive and everything, he's got use all around. He is a top pick. Bruxish is by far one of the most ugly fish in the entire series, and it is a PC Prisoner for me every single time. Drampa is pretty solid. I've never used it personally, but I don't know if it's a second pick for me. Unfortunately, I think I have to put Drampa in cool. A lot of you would probably put it first or second pick, but it's never been drastically cool to me. Its Mega Variant, I don't have enough experience with other than one battle. Dumps is pretty cool. I like how it is just a pirate ship, like steering wheel. So I'm going to put it in cool. And now we are getting to the pseudo and legendaries. We got Jungamo to start off. I love this little Pokemon. It's got to be a second pick for me. Then Huckamo is, honestly, it's got to be cool. I don't like Huckamo as much. It's less cute and it's not really menacing, so I'm not huge on it. But obviously, Komao, the man, the big man himself, is a top pick. He's got multiple uses, and he's just a really good dragon overall. On to the legendaries and ultra beasts, we have Tapu Koko. This is by far a top pick out of all the Tapus. Tapu Lili and Tapu Fini, these two are going in second picks. I think they have their uses, and they're both pretty valid. The only one going below that is Tapu Bulu. I really don't like Tapu Bulu. It's a design choice, and honestly, I feel like I haven't used him enough to really rank his moveset or anything, but Tapu Bulu, I've never been the biggest fan, so I will just be putting him in cool. Cosmog is one of my favorite evolutions for any legendary, and I believe it is the only legendary that has evolutions. That being said, Cosmog is absolutely useless. I mean, he's one of my favorites, but it's got to go into PC Prisoner. Obviously, it doesn't do anything other than teleport, so yeah. Cosmoem is literally even worse. It's got to be trash. It is utter trash. It doesn't do anything. Onto the good stuff, we have Solgaleo to start us off for the box legendaries of this game, and Gen. Solgaleo is by far a second place. For most of you, it could be a first, because he is better overall for those two and just base forms, but I'll explain myself in a second. Lunala is my #1 favorite Pokemon in the entire franchise, with Garchomp being second. Lunala, I really like the nighttime, and I always have been. I grew up being a night owl. So when it comes to a Pokemon being all about the moon, I know there's Clefable and blah blah blah, whatever. This thing literally looks like a moon and has Moongus Beam, which in Ultra Moon had the move of turning itself into a moon, and it was cool, alright? So I'm not going to defend myself anymore. Next up, we got Nihilego. I think this weird squid hat Pokemon had its rise really from the first Sun and Moon games, because, well, it took over Luzamine, which is what I call her. And I don't think it's too crazy, so I'm just going to put it in cool. Buzzwole is a pretty solid Pokemon, so if I had room and he was like a last choice, I think he would be a second pick. Next up is Pheromosa. Honestly, I think it's one of the better Ultra Beasts, but I've never used it really, and I didn't really care for it, so I will put it in never using you. Next up is Xurkitree. I think this Pokemon is really cool, and I like its design, so I'm putting it in cool. Celesteela is one of those big Ultra Beast threats, and it's got some usage, so honestly, I think it's really good Trick Room Pokemon, so I think it'd be a solid second pick. Same thing with Kartana. Obviously, it's got a pretty good moveset for grass, and it's super fast, so second pick for that as well. Next up is Guzzlord, and he is by far one of my favorite Ultra Beasts. I mean, just for the looks alone, he's got to go second pick. I don't know. Now, because Ultra Form is on here, Necrozma by himself in base form is honestly a second pick. Necrozma is one of my favorite legendary Pokemon, and I don't think that'll ever change. After that, we got Duskmane Solgaleo. Once again, it's gotta go into second picks, mainly because Dawnwings Lunala is my #1 favorite Pokemon in this entire franchise, so it's going in top picks. Ultra Necrozma, I think, in my opinion, is the DS equivalent to final boss in the entire franchise, and its power is pretty crazy, so I'm going with a top pick for Ultra Necrozma. Next up, we got Magearna. It's alright. I don't have enough information on it. I think I cheated my way to getting one, and then I got rid of it because I cheated to get one, so I'm gonna put never experienced. And here is the one I cheated for. Yeah, no experience. Next up is Marshadow. I got 2 of these bad boys. One from the Alola event and 2 from Pokemon Go. So Marshadow is probably one of my favorite when it comes to the mythicals, so I will put him at second pick. Next up is Piopal. I think this Ultra Beast has a lot of potential, so I'm putting him in second pick, yeah. Its evolution, I've never gotten myself. I know about it. I know how to get it. I'm pretty sure it's Dragon Pulse that you need. And then you level it up. But I have not done that, nor do I care to do that. I don't really use the Pokemon, so never experienced. Next up is Stakataka, and it's alright, I guess. It's not like anything revolutionary, in my opinion, so I'm just going to put it in cool. Next up is Blacephalo. I don't have enough experience with this dude, but I have caught him and stuff, so I'm just gonna put him in PC Prisoner. I don't know, man. I think some people like this Pokemon. I don't care. Next up is the mythical Zorora. I think he's mythical. That says enough. I'm gonna put him in never experienced. Same with this Mega. I don't even know how you get this guy. Was it an event or something? Was there like a cool event thing that you could activate and get Zorora? I don't know. I don't know anything about this Pokemon. And to finish this generation off, we have the Melmetal line. First up is Melton. I've had him for a little bit, never using you. I don't think he even really has much uses. Melmetal alone is pretty absurd, and his stats are kind of crazy, and he is the way he is for a reason. Top pick. Now his Gigantamax, personally, I have battled with it, but not against it. I don't know how good it is. It didn't look like he was doing anything, but he was also only doing non-effective moves for some reason. So I'm going to put that in never experienced. Onto Gen 9, we have the Galar Pokemon. To start us off, we have the Grookey starter, and this was my starter personally, but I will have to put it in second pick. His middle evolution is by far one of the worst middle evolutions in any starter, honestly, and that's honestly what I think. So if I could, I would never use this thing. But then we got good with Rillaboom. This was one of my favorite starters when it came to the grass types, and there's a lot of understanding on why. Rillaboom, for me, is a top pick. His Gigantamax is pretty cool. I don't really care for it too much, but it's a nice add-on for like the music, you know, producing Pokemon, so no hate. Second pick. Next up, we have Scorbunny. A lot of people chose this one for their starter in this game. It was either this one or Inteleon, which honestly I understand, but for me, I use too many fire types, so I wanted to switch it up a little bit, and that's why I went with Grookey. Scorbunny is probably in the same positions as Grookey. Raboot is a pretty tough middle evolution, and I really like its design. So I think separating it from Grookey, its middle evolution is actually pretty well. So second pick. Then we have its final evolution, Cinderace. Honestly, I'm not too big on it, and I'm not going to make it a top pick because I just don't feel that strong enough to make it, you know, top pick. But it is definitely a second pick for me. Now, the Gigantamax is too cool to pass up. That is a top pick. Next up is either your first or second main, Sobble. This man is a huge threat on the battlefield. Sobble is going in second pick. His middle evolution, I don't really care for it too much. So for me personally, he's probably gonna just go in cool. While Inteleon and his Gigantamax are both going in top pick. Now some of you may disagree with the top pick ranking, but that's completely fine. I get the dude's skinny, okay? But he's still really, really good. Moving on from the starters, we are on Squovet. It's a squirrel Pokemon. It's too generic, so I'm going to put it in never using you. Greedent is actually got some use, so it's gotta go in the cool section. Rookity is another one of those early bird Pokemon, and honestly, it's gotta go into second pick. If you understand, you understand. He has one of the craziest lines in this entire region. Corvisquire. Corvisquire, he's pretty chill. I like it. Not a second pick, but for a fact is Corviknight. Corviknight is a top pick guaranteed. I have such a strong connection with this Pokemon, and what helped it the most for me is the very first Corviknight that I encountered was a shiny. No shiny charm. I was just doing Pokedex entries in a wild zone at the beginning of the game. Now it's on my main comp team. Corviknight's Gigantamax is also going in top pick. If you see this thing shiny, it looks like some majestic, heavenly, and God-sent behemoth. Next up is Blipbug, absolute trash. Then there's Dottler. It's not bad, actually, so I will put it in never using you. Next up is Orbeetle, and honestly, I never thought I would say this. It's got to go into second pick. Its typing is kind of mid for me, but to be real with you, its moveset is kind of crazy early game. It's Gigantamax. I've had experience with it, but it's not enough for me to really rank it, so I will put it in never experienced. Next up is Nickit. I think Nickit's pretty solid, but it's just one that I'd never use, so I'll put it there. Now, Thievul is honestly a pretty cool Pokemon. Its shiny isn't bad either, so I'll put it in cool. Gossifleur, honestly, PC Prisoner. I don't know. I don't really know the use of this thing. I tried using it, and I don't know how to feel about it, so. Its evolution, Eldegoss, though, honestly, it's pretty good, so I'll put it in cool. Next up is the OG Wooloo. I don't think it's anything crazy. It's gotta go just in the cool ranking. Dubwool, I like its goat design a little bit more than just the sheep. Yeah, it's just gotta be in cool as well. Next up is Choodle. This is actually one of my favorite lines when it comes to any water Pokemon. And Choodle was the substitute for in case you chose the fire or grass type Pokemon. Choodle itself, honestly, I love this little guy. He's gotta be a second pick. Obviously, only because of his evolution line, which makes Dreadnought a super high choice on my tier list. Dreadnought's type is kind of at a disadvantage because it's got some 4x weaknesses, but I will say I loved this Pokemon when I used him. He is definitely a second pick. Gigantamax Dreadnought was the first Gigantamax that I ever got in the game, and that's because I loved him so much, and he was so versatile when it came to my opponents. So Gigantamax, it was just a really good, beefy, and good move pull to have against your opponent, but I don't think it's top pick. Second pick. Next up is Yamper, and honestly, it's just a poodle. I think this is one of the better early game electric types, and I did want to use this as my main team member, but I kind of just played this game without an electric type. Yamper's being put in cool. Bolton is pretty good, but once again, it's going with his evolution. Next up is Roly-Poly. I know this is a lot of people's favorites, and Roly-Poly I think is just cool for me, and I see why he's loved so much because his line is really cool, but let me rank the rest of these real quick. Carcool, honestly, it's not bad, but I gotta put it in cool still because nothing of his is going beyond second pick, which means his final evolution, Colossal, is exactly what's going in second pick. His Gigantamax, though, I have not experienced other than battled maybe twice. Applin is honestly a really cool Pokemon. I think it's such a good idea, so I'm putting it in cool. Flapple, I like the dragon typing. It's pretty tough. I don't think it's second pick yet. I think it's a super high cool Pokemon, but I don't think it's second pick. Appleton, I just got it for the dex. I don't really care for its design, so I'm going to put it in never using you. And the Gigantamax, same as Colossal. I just don't have enough battle experience with it, so never experienced. Silicobra, it's honestly got to be a never using you. Sandaconda is actually a lot more usable, so I'll put it in cool. Gigantamax, didn't even know it had that. Cramorant, pretty fun looking dodo bird. I will put it in cool. Arcuda, honestly, this is the most tedious fish in the entire franchise. Even in Gen 9, it is the worst thing to encounter in the water. It won't leave you alone. PC Prisoner. Barraskewda, same deal. You're going in prison. I don't like you. And now we're getting into the good Pokemon. Next up is Toxel. Toddler electric Pokemon. And I'm pretty sure it's poison as well. It is, yeah. Second pick, bro. If this were a starter, I would choose it. Next up is both forms to Toxtricity. Personally, I got the blue and I like the blue one a lot more. And blue is my favorite color. So honestly, he's got to be a top pick for me. While the yellow variant is going to be a second pick. Other than battling with someone that had it, I've never used the Gigantamax version, so never experienced. Sizzlipede, honestly, it was one of the best fire types you can get from the region for early game and so on, so I've gotta put it in second pick. And same with Centiskorch and Gigantamax variant, they're both being second picks. Next up is Clobbopus. I don't really care for it too much, but it is pretty good, so I'll put it in cool. And Grapploct. I actually like this Pokemon quite a bit, and if I had an open slot for a fighting type, it would be a second pick. Sinistea isn't too bad. I kind of like its design and stuff, but honestly, it's one I would never use. Poltergeist is a lot more usable, so I will put it in cool. Hatenna is pretty tough, but it's not one that I would use personally. Hatchrim, a lot more usable. It's going in cool. And Hatterene, if I didn't have Gardevoir, I think this would be a first pick. Same with the Gigantamax. You know, I've never even really had this Pokemon on my team, so it's not even biased. I think this Pokemon is genuinely really good. Next up is Impidimp. I don't think I've really used it. I used it a little bit, so I'm just gonna put never use you. Morgrim though, I like it a lot more. I really do. So cool. And Grimmsnarl, obviously this dude's a huge threat. He's got to be a second pick. The Gigantamax otherwise though, I never used it, so never experienced. Then there's Obstagoon. This guy is massively scary, so second pick. Berserker, honestly a really good and strong skill type. I don't think he's top pick, but he's definitely second. And then Galarian Cresselia, I've not once had this thing that I know of. Then we got the Galarian Sirfetch'd. Now, if you don't know, this dude has one of the most interesting evolution things other than Yamask, and I really liked it. And this Pokemon actually kind of grew on me, so he's got to be a second pick. Then we got Mr. Rhyme. We're getting up in the mountain area. Mr. Rhyme, I've never really been a crazy fan of it, so I'll just put it in cool. Runerigus, this guy is crazy. I love his design and everything. Honestly, when it comes to the Yamasks and stuff, this has got to be a top pick for me. Milcery, it's a cute little baby, like, pudding type deal. I'll put it in cool. Alcremie though, I actually really love this Pokemon. This is by far a second pick because its Gigantamax is a really big cake. So it's going in top pick. Next, we got the Gang Phalanx. I love me some Phalanx, and honestly, just that alone, second pick. I've seen Mega Phalanx one time, and that was in ZA at the end of the game. Never experienced. Pincurchin, it's alright. Pretty trash. Snom, I see so many memes about this, and I think I've caught it once. I don't get what's funny about this thing. I don't know. I'm gonna put it never experienced. Frostmoth, I like its design, so I'll put it in cool. Next up is Stonejourner. I really tried using this Pokemon, so I don't know, I couldn't really get down with it, so honestly I kind of gotta put it never using you. Like, I think it's decent, but nah. Then we got Ice Cube. I actually really love the design of this Pokemon. It's literally just a penguin with an ice cube on his head. Adorable. It's gotta be a cool rank. And Didi, I don't really care for it. Never using you. Same with the female. Don't care. Next up is Morpeko, Varney's main Pokemon, and I think it's so cool. I like how it has double typing. It is separated on here, so we also have the dark typing. I might have to move the Pokemon as a whole into second pick. I feel like I would actually use this Pokemon, mainly for the typing change and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty tough. Coffin's alright. I never really cared for it, so I'll just put it in never using you. And then Copperajah is, yeah, no, it's honestly it's gotta be a second pick, bro. It's Gigantamax alone. I mean, it would be a first pick tank. Onto the fossils, we have Dragozolt. I really like the typing there, so I'm going to put it in. I never really used the fossils, to be real. I mean, I used this one a little bit, so I'm gonna put it in cool and move on. Arctozolt, I'm pretty sure was a little bit better. Very crucial against flying types, you can imagine. Other than just getting it, I don't think I did anything with it, so I'll put never experienced. Dragovich and Arctovich are both really, really good, and I think they're pretty solid choices for second picks. Duraludon, obviously it's gotta be a first pick. You know, this dude is This man is scary. His Gigantamax, though, I have not once really used myself. I did encounter it for gyms and stuff, but that was it. So I'm going to put it in never experienced. Onto a really good lineup and basically another pseudo. We have Dreepy. Dreepy, it's alright, I guess. I mean, I'll put it in cool. Drakloak, same deal. It's gotta go in cool. You know, it looks good. It's not bad. Dragapult, obviously, once he hits this stage, he's got to be a top pick. On to the legendaries. Zacian by himself without the sword, he's got to be a second pick. He's just a tough Pokemon. Now, the crowned form of him, obviously, I think it's one of the best legendaries in the entire franchise, and it's got to be a top pick for me. Zamazenta by itself, honestly, I really love the design a lot more than when it has the shield. So, Zamazenta by itself is another second pick, but its shielded mode, I really don't care for the design. It's not like my type of Pokemon, you know? So, it's gotta be just a cool Pokemon. I mean, I know it's still very, very good and stuff, but Behemoth Blade beats it any day, man. And then the big man himself, Eternatus. The stats speak for itself. I will disclaim that, you know, his entire ending of that game was utter garbage, and it literally took 15 minutes to do out of the 24 they took from you for the entire game for a Pokemon by itself. Absolute menace. Onto the Isle of Armor, we have Kubfu, solid, mythical. It's gotta go into second choice. Single Strike Urshifu is more of my type, so he is definitely a top pick for me. I'm pretty sure I hear a lot about Rapid being a lot better, but for me, dude, I just like the one-hit crit, you know? So the Rapid, I think, has a lot more usability, but for me, it's gotta be a second pick. Both variants of Gigantamax, I have not experienced other than battling it maybe twice, so we're gonna move on. Zarude was a Pokemon Go exclusive from what I hear, and I don't think there's any other way you can get him, and I don't think there's any other way you can get him now. So obviously never experienced. I don't know jack squat about this Pokemon, so I'm going to just leave him there. The Electric Reggie, his name is weird to say, so I'm not even going to attempt it, is by far a top pick. His stats, his speed, he's the fastest Pokemon in the entire franchise, so he's got to be a top pick if you want speed electric type on your team. And I mean, I don't use legendaries personally, so I wouldn't use him, but he's the choice to go. Obviously, everyone chose the dragon type because it looks a lot cooler, and I agree. But for usability and stuff, he's got to be a second pick. Glastier is honestly a pretty solid legendary. I think it's pretty tough, but it's got to be a second pick, mainly because I'm the ghost type trainer when it comes to these horses. So Spectrier is instantly going into top pick for if I were to choose them. But honestly, he's not even a top pick, so I'm going to move Glastier down to just cool and have Spectre into second pick. Silurex, or however you say his name, I don't really care for him too much, so never using you. I actually traded my one version of him for a Dex entry that included I think it was Glacier I actually traded him for. So yeah, I will probably never get this dude again, and nor do I really care. The riding variants I've never used or battled against, so instantly going into never experienced. Onto Arceus, they added 10 Pokemon, and that was it. So without further ado, let's get Arceus done and dealt with. To start us off, we got the Wired Ear. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. Probably not. But I think it's pretty tough. He's your ride Pokemon. Second pick. Cleavor is also another second pick. I think he's such a cool Pokemon, and honestly, I'd so use him if I had to, you know? Then the big bad itself, Ursaluna. Obviously, it's a top pick. Don't let me discriminate towards bears, alright? Ursaluna is by far a top pick. And the Blood Moon variant, it's even higher on the list. If I wanted to, I'd make a whole new category for it, but I'm just gonna put it in top pick. I will say, though, the boss fight for the Blood Moon Ursaluna was kind of disappointing. Next up, we got Basculegion. I think this is the male variant. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So I hear this one's pretty cracked. I haven't used it personally, but I hear a lot of good news about this one, so I'll put it in top picks while I put the female variant into second pick. Hisuian Sneasler is by far a top competitor in VCG from what I hear right now. and he's kind of cracked in doubles, so I gotta put it in top picks. Overquill, once again, it's one of the most hostile Pokemon you'll experience in the waters, and obviously, PC Prisoner, I hate you. I hate your entire family. Die. New legendary, we got Enamorous. I think it's cool. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't think I'd ever use it, but it's nice. And Therian variant, I don't think I've ever experienced, so I'm putting it there. For the end of this video, we have made it to Generation 9. Welcome to Paldea. To start us off, we got Weed Cat. Honestly, it's gotta be a second pick. It was my starter, and mainly because it's basically the Pokemon variant of Batman. I needed that. Its middle evolution kind of did dirty when it came to SV's graphics, and I think it's still a cool Pokemon, but I don't know, man. It just looks like concrete walking around. I don't know. And obviously, Meowscarada is a really good competitor in general, and it's got to be a top pick for me. Fuecoco is actually a lot of people's top picks, and mainly because of the way it acts and behaves, so respectively, I will put it in second pick. Crocalor, this is by far one of the worst middle evolutions in the entire franchise, in my opinion, so I will put it in never using you. Skeldridge, it's gotta be a top pick again. I mean, this thing is a menace, its typing is really good, and not wearing its head anymore is a blessing. After them, we got Quaxly. I don't really care for this starter. Like, at all, really. Quaxly, I think, was like a super peak starter beginning, but once it kind of evolved and stuff, I just stopped messing with it so much. Quaxwell, honestly, never using you. I don't know. I just don't like it. Same with Quaquaval, or however you say it, never using you. I genuinely can't. It just looks weird. It's not for me. Moving on from the starters, we got Lechonk next, and this little piggy is a pretty cool piggy. Oinkalong, I like it shiny. It literally just becomes a pig. So, cool Pokemon. The female, I don't think I've seen this variant a day in my life. I swear the only one I see is male. I'm gonna put it in never experienced. Tarantula, I think it is a solid trash bug type. Spidops, though, is pretty solid, so I will put it in the cool section. I've never been a big fan of Nimble. Nimble is just a grasshopper. I'll never use it, you know? I'm not a huge fan of Nimble. Now, low kicks, a lot of people like low kicks, and that's all right, you know? So, for me, I think he's pretty cool, but that's about it. Next up is Pawmi. This was one of the Pokemon on my team. Pawmi by itself, I think it's a cool Pokemon, but that's about it. Palmo, I actually used to complete the entire game for an electric slot. One of the worst electric types I've ever had, I swear to you. So just like its previous, I am putting it in only cool. Palmot, I don't really care. I mean, it's better, but you know what? The whole line isn't cool. I don't really care. I'm just gonna slap it there. Next up is Tandemus. Pretty cool evolution task. You know, you kind of just like walk around with it in your party, and it just has children. And then obviously the family and Mousehold. I think I got it for a dex, and that's about it. So I'm putting it in never experienced. Next up is Fidough. I don't care for this Pokemon. I'll never use it. Dachshund, same deal. I'll never use it. Smoliv, PC Prisoner. I have no use for you. Cry. Dolive, I like its design, and it has some usability, so I will just put it in cool. And Arboliva, honestly, I never thought I would say this, but I beat a 7-star Torterra raid with this thing. And its movesets and Giga Drain and abilities, one of the most terrifying random Pokemon I think I ever came across. It's got to be a top pick, and that's super weird, but this thing is terrifying if you know how to build it right. I did not. It was a YouTube tutorial, but man, did it work. Next up is Squawkabilly. There's a lot of different variants of this Pokemon, but it's never one I would use. Nectly, he was on my team. Absolute trash. His first evolution is absolutely almost useless, I feel. And yeah, he's trash. Knucklestack, though, not as bad, so I will put it in cool. And Garganacl as a rock type, it's not a bad tank, so I will put it in second pick. Carcadet is too cool not to have in second pick. I mean, look at this dude. Have you seen this thing shiny? Look at that. Blue eyes. Beautiful, man. I got that recently and I'm proud. Armarouge is one of the best fire types in my opinion. Honestly, I gotta put it in second pick, but that's because I'm sad I still don't have one, but I like the purple one. Silverledge is one of the coolest Pokemon in the entire franchise to me. And honestly, it probably makes top 5 favorite looking Pokemon. I don't think it's insane, but it's too cool, bro. Like, if I were to make like a fighting game, I want that thing in it. Next up is Tadlub, PC Prisoner. I have no use for this dude, and nor will I ever. Bellibolt has some crazy ability and stuff behind it, but for me, it's gotta be never used. Watchroll, I like how they tried making a flying electric type, and I think it has some use, but it's only cool, and its entire line is only cool. I don't really care for it that much. Like, I have other types and stuff I would rather prefer with a flying type than electric, and I see why it's terrifying, but at the same time, though, I'm good. Next up is Matchiff. It's a solid dog Pokemon. I'll put it in cool. And Mobastiff, the story is too good. It's too adorable. Arvin's story with it actually made me tear up, so I'm putting it in second pick. Shroodle is a lot of people's team member when it comes to early game and the very first town. I don't care for this Pokemon. I think it looks silly and I don't really care about it. Never using. Grafaiai though, pretty cool looking Pokemon. I haven't really used it myself. I'm gonna put it in cool. Bramblin, I don't have enough experience with his entire line. I think I fought him twice in the desert and that was it. Toadschool is so weird. I don't like it and I'll never use it. Same with its evolution. Next up is Cloth. By far, if I could get the Titan Pokemon, I so would of this thing, but unfortunately, I cannot, and his shiny is pretty valid, so it's gotta be a cool Pokemon. Capsakid, it's gotta be PC Prisoner, I'm sorry. Scovillion is honestly one of the craziest typings, and he's got a really good design, so I will put him in cool. And apparently there's a Mega. I didn't know that. I'm putting that in never experienced. Rellor, I'm never experienced. I think I caught it and that was it. Never seen it again. Rabsca though, I think it looks a lot better, but it's gotta be never using you. Flittle is instantly a PC Prisoner. I wouldn't use it. I don't think there's even a use for this thing. Espathra, cool looking Pokemon. I feel like it could have just been its own stage. I don't think I really used it much, but I'll put it in cool. It is a pretty cool looking Pokemon. Tinkatink is a crazy evolution line. Its typing is nuts. It's got to be a second pick. Tinkatuff, second pick again. And obviously, Tinkaton is a solid first pick. Should I get a shiny of this? Next up is Wiglet. I think it looks stupid just by itself. Never using you. Wugtrio, on the other hand, I think it's a cool looking Pokemon, and I think it might have some use, but I don't think it's much, so I'll put it in cool. Bombardier, or however you say it, cool looking Pokemon. It's just a stork. Pretty tough. Finzen by itself, I think it's a cool dolphin Pokemon. Like, obviously, it's just a dolphin, so it's nothing too crazy, but I like the little design it has on its side, and it is cute, so I'll put it in cool. Hero Palafin form, though, all I have to say is this thing is terrifying in competitive matches, and it's got to be a second pick for me. Next up is Varoom. I think this Pokemon looks stupid, never using you. And Revavroom, I'll be respectful. Cool looking Pokemon. Cyclizar, I honestly don't have enough experience with it. Orthworm, its shiny is kind of just steel or gray or something. I don't even remember correctly, but I just know it's alright. I'll put it in cool. Glimmet is a weird looking Pokemon, but once you like wrap yourself around it for a while, you kind of get used to it, but it's nothing I would use, so. Glimmora is a pretty tough Pokemon. This is actually a Pokemon I didn't understand, and the champion, I genuinely almost lost because I didn't know what type this thing was. And I kept throwing Pokemon that was not effective against it, and Pokemon it was effective against. So honestly, Glimmora, it's kind of tough, man. I gotta put it in second pick. I didn't even know there was a Mega for it, so I will put it in never experienced. Greavard is so cool. I really like this dog Pokemon, so I'm putting it in cool. And Houndstone, just as well, I'm putting it in cool. Flamigo is just a flamingo. So PC Prisoner, you're not a Pokemon, dude. Citadel or Catadel, however you pronounce it. I think this Pokemon was kind of beefy, but I would never personally use it. Now, Cetitan, this thing is a beefy Pokemon, bro. If I wanted a tank that was Iceman, it's got to go second pick. Veluza, once again, one of those water Pokemon that are super tedious to be around. PC Prisoner. Dundazo, it's got to be a top pick. This thing is an absolute unit in multiple battles, and yeah, it's got to go top pick. So it seems like all of these sushi Pokemon are here, and honestly, I don't have experience with any of them, so I'm slapping them all in never experienced. Annihilate is a absolute unit. I do have fighting types that I would prefer over him, so I will only put him in second pick. Clodsire is such a great addition to the Wooper line, and honestly, I love this thing. It's got to go second pick. Farigarath, I know this thing is really good in comp and stuff, but I haven't used it too much personally, so I'm just going to put it in second pick. Dunsparce, this Pokemon is a PC Prisoner. I'll never use it. King Gambit is by far a top choice. This dude is so good if you use him properly. So, on to Area Zero's Pokemon, we have Great Tusk. I was threatened by this Pokemon when I first seen it, and I don't think it's second pick, so I'll put it in cool. Screamtail is literally just Jigglypuff with different colored eyes and a weird tail thing. Never going to use. Brute Bonnet is honestly one of my favorite ancient Pokemon and Area Zero Pokemon, so I would definitely put this dude in second pick. Fluttermane as well. Slitherwing is a really cool design and stuff, but honestly, it's not a Pokemon I'll probably ever use. Sandy Shocks is such a cool add-on for that lineup, but once again, it's another Pokemon I'll probably never use. On to Violet's Area Zero Pokemon, we have the Iron Treads. I hear this thing is an absolute unit. So with that being said, I'm putting it in second pick. Iron Bundle, I don't have enough information on this dude. I just know it's shiny and that's it. I don't know, I caught him for the dex and that was it. Iron Hands is automatically going into top picks. When it comes to Terrorization, this dude is the top of the food chain. Next up is Iron Jugulus. This is probably like so many people's favorite iron. Honestly, it's kind of mine too. It's got to go top pick. Iron Moth is pretty solid. I don't think I've ever used it though. So personally, I gotta put it never experienced. Iron Thorns is super cool, but honestly, it's a Pokemon I'll never use. I'd rather just use base Tyranitar if I'm going to use a Pokemon that looks like Tyranitar. So yeah, no, I'd rather just use Tyranitar. Frigibax is one of everyone's favorite new Pokemon when it comes to its line. Frigibax deserves a spot in cool, while its next evolution, Arctibax, starts to build the cake. And honestly, this for me is a pretty cool Pokemon, I agree. And on top of that cake is the icing. Baxcalibur is by far one of the best looking Pokemon when it comes to ice dragon types. And for me, it's got to be a second pick. Apparently there is a Mega. I didn't know that, so never experienced. Next up is Gimmighoul, the chest variant. I really liked this Pokemon every time I encountered it, and I gotta put it in cool. It was just so funny to see it like pop out like a mimic. It was pretty funny. Roman Gimmighoul, annoying to collect, but he's still a pretty cool looking Pokemon, and I gotta give him respect. There's a lot of him running around with coins, and hey man, you don't mess with people in power, you know? Golden Engo, I'm so glad I didn't get big into gambling because I didn't spend my coins in the DLC before I actually got this dude, and I know of a lot of people who did. So, Gimmighoul, honestly, second pick, dude. I know he's pretty tough, dude. He's a pretty good Pokemon, so I'll put him in second. To finish up Paldea, we have Wei Xian. I don't know if that's correct. Honestly, almost all of these are PC prisoners. I gotta be honest with you. All of the legendaries hidden into vaults, they're all just caught and left to die. To be honest, I think the Firefish is super cool, but I still haven't used him. The only one that I have used and actually really liked was Qian Pao. And honestly, it's gotta be a second pick, dude. This thing is kind of a menace. Honestly, no, I gotta make it first, dude. I would make it first. It's one of the best looking ones, and It's pretty crazy, man. Roaring Moon is by far one of the most intimidating Area 0 Pokemon in the entire game. I don't know if I want to go shiny hunting for it because I like the blue. I don't know. By far, Roaring Moon is just a top pick. Iron Valiant, I love Gallade, but honestly, it kind of falls short. So this variant of it is super, super cool and useful. So with that, I don't know. It's shiny, so cool and everything. It's up there with Roaring Moon. It's got to be a top pick. And onto the box legendaries. Koraidon, honestly, I wanted Violet because I didn't really care for the dinosaur type deal. Because prior to playing Scarlet and Violet, I played Arceus, so I didn't want to go back in time again. But it grew on me. It is by far one of my favorite legendaries in the entire franchise now. They did the story for him, and I'm sure they did in Violet as well. It's the same thing. They did them so well, it actually made me happy to see him happy. It's a top pick for Koraidon. When it comes to Miraidon, though, other than Dex entry, I have no experience with him, so no experience. Walking Wake is one of the event Pokemon that I actually really wanted because Suicune is my favorite of the beasts, but unfortunately, I was still playing Ultra Moon by the time this game came out. Iron Leaves, just like its non-iron counterparts, I don't care for them. Other than catching this thing, that was it. So never experienced. Diplin is pretty tough. I know its forms and stuff is really, really good. So Diplin by itself, I can confidently put it in second pick. Poltergeist, I have no experience with. And Sinistcha, it's one of the best supports in the entire game, from what I hear. And from what I've played, it's insane for support. So I'm putting it in top picks. Okidogi, I never really cared for these legendaries. I think they all, like, they look cool, but I don't care enough about them, really. So, I think they're cool. So I'll respect them and put them in cool. But I will have to say, Vizendi honestly goes up for second pick. If I were to choose any of those legendaries from that DLC, I would honestly choose that one. I don't care for the other two's designs. I really don't. Into the final line of this entire video, we have Ogerpon to start us off. Ogerpon is probably one of my favorite legendaries altogether. And honestly, subsiding from his other variants and stuff, he is by far a top pick. When it comes to his variants, Wellspring is by far a second choice, or first. Honestly, I'll put it in first. The Heart Flame is probably a hard second, and the Rock variant, never using it. Archelodon, obviously, it's a top pick. This dude is one of the biggest threats in competitive and stuff at the moment, and even without competitive knowledge, a little bit of competitive knowledge, he's absolutely a menace with his stamina ability. And reason why I put Diplin in second pick is because Hydrapple is by far a top pick for me. Gouging Fire, I don't really care for. I like the design comparatively to just Entei himself, so I'm okay with putting him in second pick. And just because I know the competitive standpoint of Raging Bolt, I will put him in first pick. I don't like him that much. I don't like his design too much. I don't know. I really don't care for it too much, but and I know he's up there. So, you know, if I were going to choose a teammate, he would be a top pick. Iron Boulder is all right. It's just one of those legendaries I still don't really care for, so it's just got to be a never using you, to be honest. Cobalion, honestly, it's not bad, but I prefer the original, so it's also going and never using you. Terrapagos, though, it's one of those legendary Pokemon. This thing is cool. Now, in its Terra form, it's a top pick. The Stellar type is pretty dangerous, but honestly, it's not that dangerous. I'm putting it in second pick. And last but not least is Perchant. I've caught it. I've never used it. So there it is. We have done it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the video. And honestly, thank you for sticking with me till the end. This video took a lot of time to record due to the fact, look how many Pokemon there are. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Obviously, you will not agree with everything. I sure hope you don't. I mean, everyone's got a favorite Pokemon, and if I ranked it wrong in your opinion, that's okay. You know, your rankings will be absolutely different from mine, and it's just how it is. That's how tier lists work. So hopefully you liked some of my opinions at least a little, and hit that like and subscribe button, and get ready for Gen 10. You know, I'm excited for it the most. So with that being said, that is my list, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Later.